Is it working? Oh, hello. Did you guys see any of that? Because I've been talking for like a minute now. I think it's working now. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining me today. I hope y'all doing well. Raptors playing the Pelicans tonight. We'll restart here. Raptors playing the Pelicans tonight. We're coming off that big win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We keep them to just 88 points. And I was just mentioning how my computer was pretty fried right before I started. So I restarted my computer. That's why I started late. I just realized I didn't take down the fucking soccer jerseys that were up for my other show earlier. So I'm going to change those right now. Yeah, I'm just not going to go on the back screen. Just give me a second. I forgot to change the fucking shirts. All right, so there we go. Now we're ready to start. Thank you for joining me. Here's there in the background. Yeah, Canadian OG. Got to get one of the new ones for the World Cup. I know they're probably going to lose all 3 games, but got to respect it. Anyways, hope y'all are doing well. Appreciate everybody stopping in for today. Matt, can't help you with that, buddy. But Wednesday, hope y'all have a great week so far. It can't believe it's Wednesday, man. It feels like the end of the week should be over. It's only Wednesday. It just never ends. 2 more days to go, and then we can enjoy the weekend. Big weekend coming up for soccer fans. World Cup second round begins. England playing on Sunday. Super excited for that. Playing against Senegal. Can be a tricky team. It's obviously one that you'd expect the English to win, but Senegal can be a tricky team. I feel a little bit better about playing Senegal than I do about playing Ecuador. Ecuador could have been the team England faced because Ecuador can just be a little bit tricky defensively. But anyways, you should feel like England win both those. Anyways, we're talking about basketball. The Raptors playing the Pelicans tonight. Raptors playing against the Pelicans here with most of their players back. Otto Porter Jr. has still remained out here, but obviously Siakam returned to the previous game looking outstanding. Scottie Barnes was back. And he was coming off the bench in the last game, so we'll see what happens this time with the player. I'm wondering, actually, if the starting lineup's already out. That's the biggest thing on my mind right now. Because last game, obviously, Scottie Barnes and Gary Trent Jr. did not start, and we looked really, really, really good. So I'm wondering if that is something that we will continue to use going forward. Raptors today. Oh, so interestingly, Scottie Barnes is back in the starting lineup. Gary Trent Jr. remains not in the starting lineup. So we go with Van Vliet, Anunoby, Barnes, Siakam, and Thaddeus Young as the starting 5. So Gary Trent Jr. will remain in a bench role for today. I support it. Yeah, even with Gary Trent not playing well, and needing maybe a new role, I still think that his style of play suits the 6-man role. Yeah, just switching it up with Gary Trent Jr. I like it. I support it. Scottie Barnes, I don't mind getting the starting lineup either. One sec. What is this? Let's go through the comments a little bit here. I'm excited to watch Zion play. Raptors have a lot of these guys back, as I mentioned. Pelicans side of things, they are dealing with some injuries. CJ McCollum is not going to be playing in this one. Neither is Brandon Ingram, a guy who does have a ton of issues with injuries. Zion Williamson is going to be playing. There was a question of who's going to be guarding him in chat. I feel like you got to put OG on him. This is going to be a really, really difficult test for OG. Sorry, just saw something for work. It's a, Jesus Christ, going to be a really difficult time for OG if he's guarding him. I think it'll be more of a host of players trying to do it. Give me a lot of doubling. Obviously, OG was really impressive against Donovan Mitchell last game. Donovan Mitchell, for the first time in 121 games, did not get to 10 points. 8 points on 3 for 11 shooting. OG was a big part of that, but also throwing doubles at him was a big part of that. And guys like Isaac Okoro couldn't hit their shot. So we'll see how we run against him today. But what's going on to the chat? 905 Yada is here along with Logical Raptors Fanatic, both back again. Mr. Piggy, welcome back. What is going on? The Costanza is here. Off-Grid Sports, Sebastian Lungu, Ninjol, my moderator, Roman. Thank you, guys. Matt T, what is up? Thomas Perry, Chris Rock, Amateur Army veteran, joining us. Thank you, Chris Rock. Mike Larry, what's going on? You want to see OG lock up Zion? I would like to see the matchup as well. Mike James is here. Time like this, I love being Portuguese. I'm not going to say what I feel about the Portuguese national team. Enigmatical. What's your outlook on Fred's usage and a solution for Fred's shooting slump with a new line item change? What's solution? I think, well, to solve something, there'd have to be a problem. And there's no problem. Fred, there's no issues as that I've seen. I'm confused by that. Sanjay Godin. I hope I said that correctly. Love the channel. Let's go Raptors. Hey, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Appreciate that. OG should be the leading defensive player of the year candidate. Yes, Mike, completely agree. Mike Larry. It was Mike James as well. Too many Mikes, man. One of you got to go. Just kidding. They're going to have to double Zion. Yeah. I mean, who can guard him? You put Pascal on Zion for the side. I mean, I just you can't not have your best defender against their best guy type of thing. I don't know. Well, it'd be interesting to see what Nick Nurse goes with here because sometimes he has surprised me a little bit. Facing a team that's struggling with what we have been struggling with the past 2 weeks. I mean, Cleveland also did not have Allen or or Kevin Love, so I would say they've been dealing with injuries. Nick Nurse wanted to have Gary come off the bench without hurting his feelings, so he benched Scottie as well to let him down gently. I just generally don't think that's the case, but maybe. I think it's just two guys not playing very well, so maybe a little bit of a message sent type of thing. We'll see. Got the Raptors at +1 last night. Wow, great bet. Great stuff there. Abdul Nasser Ismail, what's going on? Any bets today? No. I had a brutal World Cup day. I went 0-3 on my World Cup bets today. NBA, no NBA bets today. Actually, that's not a lot. I have a quarter unit wager on the Houston Rockets because I got a good price on them. So Houston, pulling for the upset. Let's see if they can do it. That's my only bet. Nothing on the Raptors here. You'd bench Siakam and start bend over. I think that's a really good one. A really good idea. I mean, we should just not. Siakam just makes the team worse. I mean, to be honest, Siakam just stumps Scottie Barnes' development because Scottie just doesn't get as many touches. It would probably be better for the team going forward to just not play Siakam and maximize Barnes' touches so we can worry about his development. You know what's funny is that I'm making a joke. What's not funny is that those were pretty much legitimate thoughts by Raptors fans this time last year. Like literally people thought that was a viable solution. Or not a solution because that requires a problem of a viable strategy, let's say. You're Mike G for 9 years on YouTube. I have my amateur TV account is my like YouTube account that I was using growing up. So that's probably got some weird history on it. Heard that Nick Nurse Champagne Banter are the biggest potheads on the team. I don't think Nurse spoke about who the biggest potheads are, and I don't think anybody asked him that. Aiden just got a new phone case. Let's all stop. And well done to Aiden. Slapped a OG block in there for $50. Yeah, nothing for me again. It's tough for me to really come up with a handicap right before the game unless lineup news comes out. I like to bet as early as possible. I think part of my World Cup problems have been I've been betting too close to the end. I got to bet earlier, get in before, hopefully some movement. But, man, World Cup was not good today. To be fair, Pascal's not playing well at the time. Yeah, okay. This guy was shut down for 5 months after getting shoulder surgery. Christ, can we give him a couple weeks? And then we did. And then he made All NBA second team. Anyways, what is the starting five for both teams? I have not seen the Pelicans starting five. Raptors starting five is usual cast minus Trent plus Thaddeus Young. Remember Pascal against the Celtics in the playoffs. Okay. Here we go. All right. Here we go. We're going to find it. All right, we're in 2021 now. Summer 2021. January. All right, we're in 2020. We're still moving. About here. Here we are. September 2020. Over 2 years ago. 26 months ago. I'm sorry. If that is the only slight you have against a player, a 7-game sample size 26 months ago, he must be pretty fucking good at basketball if you have to reach that far to slander him. Every time I throw money on Halliburton, he gets 3 points through 3 quarters. Is that how is? I swear he's been balling. I don't know. You've been on Halliburton tonight with his return to Sacramento. On my NBA betting show earlier today, we gave out a Halliburton bet on points plus assists over 31.5 points plus assists. On Monday we had the 29.5. Today it is the 31.5. He was really bad when it mattered. That matters. Mike James, man, oh man. Let's go to where like really really matters. Let's say what is the most meaningful basketball games? Probably like an NBA Finals or something. I would say it really really matters in an NBA Finals. And since we want to cherry pick games from years ago, we will go to Game 1 of the NBA Finals in Toronto. First ever NBA Finals series played outside of the USA. First ever game the Toronto Raptors ever played in an NBA Finals. A lot of talk about Kawhi for good reason, but Pascal's, I mean, they're pretty mid. Those are mid stats. That game didn't really matter, though. I don't understand the slander. This guy is this is a 2-time All-NBA player. This is a 1-time All-Star. This is likely a 3-time All-NBA player if he doesn't get injured again. This is likely a 2-time All-Star if he doesn't get injured again. This is an NBA champion. This is an MIP. This is, for what it's worth, if we're reaching all the way back there, a G League Finals MVP. So he's done a lot in a lot of games that have mattered, and he has only gotten better and better and better and better. This is crazy. I'm done with this. Dark Horse MVP. I think that injury kind of killed the steam on it, and I just think there's been such exceptional players. It's probably got to be... Well, the issue is the Raptors are 11-9. That's not necessarily an issue. Right? Are we 11-9 or 11-9, right? The issue is... Like, the Celtics are 17-4, and Tatum has been outstanding. And the Bucks are, 15-4, and Giannis has been outstanding. Luka, I mean, the Mavs aren't doing that well, but Luka's just been so damn good that it's going to be really hard to get in that conversation. Go look at my vids. Like, I don't think you can find a single... This is just annoying here because I think you'll look far and wide. I don't think you'll find a single hate piece on Siakam saying that we absolutely need to trade him and that I have lost my faith in him. The only like halfway to that I was just really, really mad after game 3 of the most recent playoffs where he shot the ball like 4 times in the second half of 12 points in the game. That was the only time I ever like almost went that far, but I never quite went over the edge on that. What's my top 5? Your top or top 3? Because it's well, top. All right, let's top. I have a top 4. I have a top 4. You know what? I'll give you a top 5. I'll give you top 5. First, right now, it's hard to say it's not Jason Tatum. So, Jason Tatum. Number 2. You have to be given the standings. If I'm ignoring standings, because by the end of the season, things could change here. So let's. If I'm ignoring standings, Luka Doncic's the MVP right now. Tatum's probably number 2 because we're ignoring standings. Top 2, no standings. Doncic, Curry, and then I'd go Tatum, Giannis, Booker. If I am putting some stake into the NBA standings, because the Mavericks are in 9th and the Warriors are in 10th, then I'd go Tatum 1, Giannis 2. No, I actually, Tatum 1, Giannis 2, Doncic 3, Curry, no. Tatum, Curry, Doncic, yes, Giannis, Booker. Those be. So with standings in mind, partially because it's still too early to just only count standings, I'd go, like I said, Tatum first, Doncic second, Curry 3rd, Giannis 4th, Booker 5th. If I'm going no standings, I don't care about standing, I don't care about team record. I go Doncic, Tatum, Curry, Giannis, Booker. Oh wait, with standings, Giannis ahead of Curry. Flip-flop there, but Doncic, fat boy, have you seen Luka Doncic's stats? Have you watched him play? This guy's different, man. What is he averaging? He's averaging 50% shooting. He's averaging 60% on twos. This is a point guard averaging 60% on twos, 33.5 points, 8.8 rebounds, 8.6 assists, 50% shooting again. Like this is nuts. This is crazy. He's nasty. How can you not have him as like your number 1 guy if you're not counting record? This is crazy. What about AD? He's probably top 10, but I don't know. Giannis at 1 because the Bucks still close to Suggs at Middleton. That's, I guess true. But like the Celtics also have like the Celtics offensive rating, and I hate the Celtics. You know me, I hate the Celtics. The Celtics have if the season ended today, their offensive record would not only be the greatest offensive rating in NBA history for a team, it would absolutely obliterate the record. They're averaging 121 points per 100 possessions. That is just otherworldly ridiculous stuff. Luka Doncic is a fraud. Listen, you can't just say Luka Doncic is a fraud without following it up. This guy is not even 24 years old yet, doing this, like having an MVP caliber season. High usage, yeah, because he's so good. Like, Luka, you know what? I think that's enough scoring for today, pal. We're actually gonna give the ball to Dorian Finney-Smith and let him run the offense instead. What do you mean? Should they give him the ball less because let other people have the ball? That's crazy. Like it's not like he's inefficient. It's not like he's shooting 45%. Like this is 50% right now. It is 50% shooting. So he's efficiently scoring this much. I don't understand. Like listen, if Doncic's not your number 1 MVP guy, whatever. But to say he's a fraud is absolutely crazy. He ruins offensive flow. The Mavs would be a borderline G League team without him. That's actually unbelievable. He hands his teammates grenades, but he has one of the highest average assist totals in the NBA. That's crazy. Oh, man. 8.6 assists per game, and he hands his teammates grenades. Oh my God, that's so bad. That is such a bad take, man. That's crazy. Oh wow. He's got to be in your top 3. That's actually nuts. Rico Hines doing wonders for Siakam. I think Siakam's doing wonders for Siakam. This is the guy that's been putting in the work, getting better every year. I mean, I wouldn't say Rico Hines, it wasn't a factor, or like this season. I'm not saying he's not a factor. Early on in his career, obviously, he's been a big factor, I think, towards his development. But we got to give, I think a lot of the credits just got to go to Siakam as well. This guy's putting in the work. And, and the NBA took note. Like, there was some good words from, albeit maybe not your favorite source, Kyrie Irving, who's talking about, we all knew Spicy P was coming. So, I'm going to have to put a lot of the stake on Siakam. Sorry, I just saw something I couldn't believe I saw. This has nothing to do with the Raptors. I just saw something that I absolutely could not believe was real. Wait. Sorry. This is... So I just saw something unprecedented. And you know what? It was actually even more ludicrous than somebody saying that Luka Doncic was a fraud and hands his teammates grenades. That's crazy. Who are your 2 all-stars if Raps are 3 seed by Christmas? Well, Siakam is an all-star. If Raptors are 3 seed, I think they'll still struggle to get 2 all-stars. OG right now is the second best player. So if the Raptors, like, you forced me to pick 2 Raptors all-stars and I put OG in there, but I wouldn't. Like, there's probably more players in there. Siakam Siakam's going to be an all-star at this pace. Like, I've never seen media recognition going towards Siakam like this. You just never see it. Neutral ESPN reporters sounding off on how impressed they are with Pascal Siakam. Like, that just does not happen. And it has never happened until this season. But people are taking note, man. This is crazy. People are taking note of OG as well. If OG is an all defense, NBA's rigged. I can't believe he has never been all defense yet in his career. But yeah, I think this year could be the year. We finally get the boy into an all defense team. I hope so. Mavs may not even make the playoffs. If you want to have a discussion about the Dallas Mavericks team and how bad they are, sure. But that's not what we're talking about. OG, when he's healthy, he's unstoppable. Yeah, that's just the thing, though, Kim. It's the health. We've known for a while how good this guy can become, but I think part of it is that last season I thought he could have been better. I think part of it as well is that he just needs to be healthy for a sustainable period of time, which, it's completely out of his control, but some guys, it's just unfortunate with the injury things. Looks stronger this year. I think every year just comes in stronger, comes in with new tools. It's a player developing. We forget that he's only in his mid-20s here, which is also pretty impressive. Sorry, one sec. I'm just getting I'm getting my stream ready so I can actually watch the game here. OG Plumbing goes to work and shuts the taps off. That's good. Listen, it's a long season. As far as winning DPOY goes, it is a long, long season. I think right now he's boosting his stock. I mean, you just look at the numbers of guys that he's guarding, and it's ridiculous. Does some of that go into the Raptors team defense? Yeah, but not one guy can be can stop the entire team, right? Your defense needs to be there from a team perspective, and they need to help you out. Like, there's a lot of guys that need doubling. There's no shame in that. OG just makes your life absolute hell when you can't double. When you do double, holy shit, you better pass the ball because you're not getting a bucket with him there. I don't know about a Kawhi light in the sense that, like a Walmart version of it, which, if you're going to be a Walmart version of Kawhi, that's still going to be pretty fucking good, right? He's reminiscent of him. Their first few years in the league were very, very similar in terms of trajectory building up. Now, what was different was that OG's 4th season was when, Kawhi's 4th season was when he really took off as a scorer, which OG did not do. That would have been, I believe it was last season. But he's still a phenomenal player. We recognize the talent. This is why you don't give up on a guy after 2 to 3 weeks and think that you're better off without him just because he's in a rough patch. People said that about Siakam, which we've talked about so many times. They talked about it in the Celtics series where one bad series, all of a sudden we forgot that he was an all-NBA second-team player. Then, there was last season where he started the season slower because he's coming back from that shoulder surgery and had been shut down for 5 months. And people were questioning, oh my God, he's ruining Scottie Barnes' development. We should trade him. But you give guys time. You give the guys that deserve time, the time to get it back because they're part of the reason why the team is great and what has made the team great. So OG Anunoby, there were tons of people in the chat after a game against the Miami Heat where OG got like 6 points, really struggled to shoot the ball. There were talk about trading OG Anunoby, which is like you look at it now, like this guy's absurd. Does he have a sneaky shot at making like an all-star team as an injury reserve? I mean, very outside shot, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities with the way that he started the season. It's just been that good. OG all of a sudden a leading DPOI candidate. Could you imagine if we had traded him when there's like 30% of the viewers? Because I did a poll when 30% of the viewers wanted to trade him. Do you imagine we traded him? That we'd be watching him right now for another team as a DPOI candidate, and everybody crying, why did we trade OG? That type of thing. It's crazy. Like Scottie Barnes as well. I mean, Scottie Barnes is the golden child, so there's no trade Scottie Barnes talk. But there is because people are like, why did we not trade this guy for Kevin Durant? Why did we not trade this guy for Kevin Durant? We didn't trade him because in 3 years' time, you're going to look back and be like, oh, that's absolutely why we did that. Pascal getting triple-double tonight. It'll be a fast-paced game. He got a comfortable double-double last game. Like, a comfortable double-double. He barely even did anything in the second half and got a double-double. That was nuts. 18 points, only one in the second half. He really took his foot off the gas and just kind of let everybody else score and was upped his assist total. But, man, that first half, Siakam was something else, man. There's a famous Sid Sixero tweet. If you don't know Tim and Sid Sixero, he's now on Breakfast Television. Anyways, very famous tweet going into last season when he said, I know the Ben Simmons stock or whatever isn't great right now, but if you offer me Ben Simmons for Siakam straight up, I would take it right away. I'm paraphrasing. It was something along the lines of that. It was shocking at the time. And then Ben Simmons proceeded to play 0 games, 0 minutes the entire season. And Siakam made All-NBA 13. Don't write guys off. Oh, Cicero's just horrible sports takes. Oh, man. Sportsnet may have had a blessing when he left them. For the record, as bad as it got, I wouldn't have taken Ben Simmons for Siakam. Well, there you go. I was always very anti-Simmons. I felt like I was more anti-Simmons than other people were. Like, I found it, and maybe this was off base and maybe this was biased even at the time, but people were talking about Ben Simmons trades, like how apparently the Raptors were extremely interested in Simmons and there was like such a big asking price by the Sixers. The whole time I was thinking to myself, would I do Fred VanVleet straight up for Ben Simmons? And at that I was like, I don't even know if I'd do that because I just feel like the style of play Simmons had was just really get in the way of other guys like Siakam, who wants that lane and wants that space. And I think Embiid without Simmons really thrived in those spots because he just had a lot more space to himself. It just seemed like Fred was a better fit for this team. But I don't know if that was off base, but I stand by I stand by it now for sure. He's an excellent defender. Not going to deny that. He's an outstanding defender. He's a DPOY level defender when he's engaged and healthy. Offensively this season, we're seeing a lot of fragility with the player. A player who came into the league, won Rookie of the Year, and I gave props to somebody who could win an MVP one day. And he just stayed there. And then people started to figure it out. And then he lost his confidence a little bit. Getting it back, but I think at the end of the day, at this point, late 2022, he is over-slandered. But I think it's fun to slander him, so I get in on the fun and slander him. But I think it's a good player. It's a good player in there. It's one that maybe doesn't have the will to improve his game, but even at the way he is, he's a good player. I'm comfortable with him never being a Raptor. So we have good defenders, right? For some reason, Max always torches us. I know why. He's fast, really athletic. We don't have a good matchup for him, and he tends to shoot really well against us. I just explained. Exposes us. He exposes our weaknesses. We struggle with those shorter guards. Because as good of a defender that Fred is, he's not super quick, super agile like these other guys his size. Does that make Fred a bad player? No, doesn't make Fred a bad player. Just means he got a bad matchup. Happens to the best of us. I think if Raptors fans, if like a section of the Raptors fandom, if they had their way, you would have a turnstile of a team. You would have every week a new player would get traded. Then he'd bring in a guy, and then like a month later he'd get traded because he's struggling. They're like this season, there was a big rallying behind trade OG. There was a big rally behind trade Van Vliet. There was a big rally behind we should have previously traded Scottie Barnes when we had the chance to do so. Hasn't been one about Siakam. I will say though, when I was very fearful of Siakam's injury, there were a few comments that said Siakam's injury is going to be a blessing in disguise because you're going to see how good this team is without him. And that was just the most unbased, what's the opposite of base? Unbased? The most unbased take ever. Somebody oh my goodness. I think at the end of the day, people need to recognize as well, it's not GM mode. Like, you can't just flip a guy every week. You know what I mean? I just think people think you can easily get value for a guy. You can easily they have a value meter like in NBA GM mode or whatever, or my career, whatever, and you just match up a value. And it always works out like that. And if it doesn't work out with you just trade those guys and you get some. It's just, yeah, they don't have they don't have control of the team. Absolutely. Wouldn't hate trading for MVP. I would. I can see the appeal. Like if you get a really good offer, I actually probably would hate it though. I see the side of the argument on the Fred VanVleet in terms of like if you're gonna get a really good trade, but like there's people who just think he's so bad, just get whatever, just get rid of him because he makes his team worse, which is ridiculous. I'll go into that a bit further, but starting lineup here: VanVleet, Barnes, Anunoby, Siakam, and Young. For the Raptors, Gary Trent Jr. coming off the bench yet again for this team. New Orleans side of things, they're without Ingram and McCollum. They're going to go with Alvarado, Herb Jones, Murphy, the third, Zion Williamson, and Valanciunas. Trey Murphy's been playing well for this team, so he's a good player as well. What are we talking about? Fred VanVleet. Guy was an all-star last season. It is not easy to make an all-star team. This guy stole, and this might seem little. It's not little. This guy stole a finals MVP vote off of Kawhi. I know that's a long time ago, but like that's a thing. That's what he's capable of, right? That's what he can do. That's impressive. And beyond the on-court stuff, which is great, he's a really good defender, an exceptional defender, one of the better defenders in this league, even for his size. Usually near the top of the league in steals, usually near the top of the league in deflections. And he's one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. People always point to his efficiency, but he's a high-volume three-point shooter, so naturally your efficiency is going to be worse when you're shooting more threes. And he's a smaller guard. He doesn't finish well at the rim. That's a problem. Do I think there's some parts of his game offensively he needs to clean up, like shooting less in mid-range, shooting less at the rim? Yeah, I think he's done that this season, but yeah, there are ways we can maximize him a little bit better, but he's a fantastic player. And I promise a lot of people recognize that. All right. We just got started here, and the Pelicans, a 24-second violation after an errant pass there. So Raptors forced a turnover, and we'll start and get the ball here. Yeah, it's weird having a Barnes considers himself a point guard, and he did the jump ball, so that's kind of crazy. But let's get into the game here, everybody. I think Fred is like quite clutch. I would say very clutch. So I think when the chips are on the line, he is a very good player to have. Siakam spins to the rim and he puts it in early. I would argue he's a very clutch player. Didn't like him in the three-point contest? Well, whatever. It was just fun. Anyways, let's get into the game. Wish we saw JV. Yes, but we won a championship without him. Is what it is. Siakam spins to the rim again. Early 4 points for Siakam. The JV trade, we wouldn't have won the championship without Marc Gasol. So the team recognized that, and we had to do it. Herb Jones for 3 early. Herb Jones, I was expecting a big breakout offensively this season. He's been better than last season. He's still an outstanding defender. Siakam nails the three-pointer. Oh, my God. Siakam with 7 points in the first 90 seconds of this game. This is... What the fuck? Sam has 7 points. We've played 96 seconds now. Oh my goodness. He just straight pulled up there. What was I talking about? I forget. Oh, Herb Jones. I love Herb Jones. I was expecting a big jump offensively, as I said, in his sophomore season. Didn't get that. Outstanding defender. Herb Jones has the 3 for the Pelicans. He's in the paint here with Siakam defending. Puts it up, no good. Alvarado can't get the rebound. Looks like OG is the Zion matchup, by the way, which we wanted to talk about. Siakam, defended by Jones. Siakam goes up with the right. Siakam has 9 points.
Yep.
We've played 2 minutes. Siakam has 9 points. Holy shit. He is on one tonight again. Again, every night, man. He's like this every goddamn night. I do not think this is going to be a blowout win for the Raptors. Yeah, I fixed it. I set the wrong screen up. Thank you, Roman. Zion at the rim, lays it in and one. 9-5. 9-1. It's not even like this is just Siakam. This is just what he does, man. This is just... He just does this every game. Not like this. I mean, we were early. Lock and change, but... Oh, Herb Jones is an outstanding defender. Listen, if this is... Siakam at the rim. Can he go for 11 here? You can only watch Herb Jones play basketball for the first time once. That's what I'm going to say here. Siakam has it ripped away. Fuck, trade this bum. Zion to the rim, and he gets another and one. Siakam's so shit, man. How the fuck did he turn that over? Zion flexed a little bit too hard in that first and one. I will say that. He is very, very muscular, though. You give him credit. Herb Jones is nasty, though. I was talking about Herb Jones. Herb Jones is one of my favorite players in the league. He is so good at basketball. And a kickball there by Jones. Raptors are trying to get the entry pass there. It is 9-8 for the Raptors. Pascal with all 9 points for the team so far in this game. The only player who's taken a shot. He's 4 for 5. I guess we'll count that one he lost as a block. Siakam with the right, misses for the first time. This guy's so shit. Why do we pay him $35 million? Siakam, corner 3 is up. This is off as well. This guy's just chucking up shit. Could you imagine walking in thinking I actually believe that stuff? JV down low, and the Pelicans have their first lead of the game. 10-9. Remember, no McCollum or Ingram for the Pelicans here tonight. Raptors' only notable missing player is, I believe, Otto Porter Jr. Barnes to Thaddeus Young, who has started in place of what you'd expect to be Trent, but second game off the bench for Trent. And another kickball called against, this one against Alvarado. I think the point I'd like to extend the most is that you can criticize a player without saying the team has to trade him. OG, corner three is good. I'm not saying you can't criticize a player, because obviously I criticize players all the time. A player is allowed to have a bad stretch where you criticize them and not thinking that it's the end of the world and you have to trade them. And they make the team worse. Well, Precious is out, yes. Of course. I'm in the headspace that, like, we know he's out. He's not playing for a long time type of thing. But, yes, that's a good point. No Achua as well. Zion goes right to the rim, and Zion has looked like a problem early on. So, Zion, obviously, a phenomenal player offensively. Defensively is where you can take advantage, though. 8:02 to go in the first quarter as Zion ties it up there. That was a nasty slam. Yeah. Oh, man. He's like that. Like Gary Trent. I mean, maybe a bad example because he's not a guy that I would be against trading. Not saying like you have to force a trade. If a good offer is there, I don't mind trading him type thing. But like Van Vliet struggling, OG struggling. If Thad lays in with the left on the steal there, good job by Scottie hustling on there in the full court sort of press. Like if OG's a bad stretch, he's not a bad player, just bad stretch. And you've seen these guys at their best, what they can do. I think you give some of them the benefit of the doubt that they can go and achieve great things. Siakam at the rim again. This one's good for Pascal. 16-12 for the Raptors. Siakam has 11 points early in the game. 7:14 to go in the first. Zion and Siakam going toe-to-toe offensively here. Zion going forward again. Gets by OG and lays it in. So OG struggling with this matchup early on. Was expecting to see more doubles coming his way, but oh my goodness, he's a problem right now. Barnes, early three, no good. I mean, do we like have to shoot that, Scottie? Did we have to shoot it there? Herb Jones in the corner to Alvarado. Probably double is just got good shooters everywhere. You got to double him. I mean, you can't just let Zion score like that. JV with the left, tough shot. Wow. Tough bucket for JV. 16-16. Offensive frenzy early on here. I can pass on an early shot clock three from Scottie Barnes. Yes. Barnes down low, defended by Murphy, and he puts up the shot there. He's fouled. Doesn't go. He'll head to the line. Timeout's been called, so opportunity to breathe a little bit after the Raptors' frantic start here. Putting up a ton of points. Defense looking a little bit weary here, although when you're playing against a guy like Zion Williamson, I guess you can partially understand. But then again, you had all this time to prepare for Zion. You're going to have to find a way to stop him tonight, or else you're going to lose this game, even though Ingram and CJ McCollum are not playing. Raptors coming to this one as 2.5-point favorites. They are away, so that factors into it. Koloko and OG on Zion. Koloko will foul out if Koloko gets 15 minutes, he'll foul out today. That's not disrespect. That's just he fouls a lot. Zion draws a lot of fouls. That could be a problem. That genuinely could be a problem. Zion's all they got, so we just got to figure out a way to stop him. I mean, it's not all they got, but he's got 9 points early on. He's 4 for 4. We got to make his life a little bit more difficult. On the Raptors side of things, Siakam is 5 for 7 with 11 points, so they did count it as a turnover. Yes, they did not count it as a shot. 5 for 7 with 11 points. Siakam is on one tonight so far. Let's just keep going this way. Siakam be the MVP conversation. Won't win, but we get top 3. I think competing with, right now, Giannis, Tatum, Doncic, Curry, maybe Booker is going to be really difficult for Siakam to get top 3. I think record would have to go a long way for him. Yeah, I see Zion the way he lands. He definitely he already has injury troubles. But he's healthy today, so you're going to have to stop him. He's a different player to Shaq. In terms of physical dominance, sure, it's similar to Shaq, excuse me, but Shaq didn't have this bounce. Shaq did not have this athleticism. This is a special player. This is a specimen. He can't play defense though, which is strange. You'd expect him to be like an outstanding defender with his just athletic abilities. He's just not that good a defender though. Might take him another 2 full seasons to get to 100 games played. That's the thing, man. It's just crazy. So if you were going back, I think this actually answers itself because Ja Morant is just so fucking good at basketball. But like if you were back there and you were the Pelicans, would you change your mind and go with Ja Morant? I think you have to. Zion's a better player when he's playing. It's just, is Zion ever play? I mean, I think that's actually debatable on who's the better player, to be honest. Oh, it was all this talk about. Yeah, I think it is 100%. There is all this talk about. Or there was all that talk about Zion, and he's like the next LeBron. But Ja Morant might be the better player, even if Zion has a full healthy season. I don't know. 5 years? I mean, I guess. 5 years, I think it'll look even better for Ja. I don't know. He's a lot more durable. RJ Barrett. Yeah, RJ Barrett, air ball layup Barrett. RJ's having a bad year. Barnes at the free throw line misses the second one after hitting the first one, and Zion grabbed the rebound there. Ja Morant is a lot more durable than Zion Williamson by a long shot. Jonas for 3, no good. Rebound. Herb Jones fouls Siakam. What's Ja Morant's? Last season he missed like 20 games. I don't think that's a ridiculous amount of time to miss. Ja Morant in his 3 seasons played 67, 63, 57. So that's not the most healthy player, but tell you what, he's played a lot more than Zion Williamson. How many career games is Zion at? He has to be like but he can't be above 50, can he? Siakam working one-on-one with Zion. Good matchup here for Pascal. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound to Jones. Herb Jones taking it coast to coast and gets the tough layup to fall. He's played 100 games? Really? Damn, he's played more than I thought. Siakam puts it up and offensive foul called against him. Has he actually already played 100 games? Wow. He's played exactly 100 games. He played 61 in 2020-21. So I gave him a little bit less credit than he deserved because I didn't know he had 61 in that second season. So maybe the question is durability for both Ja Morant and Zion Williamson. Knowing what the information we currently possess, you'd have to do a pretty good job to convince me not to take Ja first over Zion with the current information we have on both players. I just think career-wise, as Deep 3 goes for the Pelicans there, I think career-wise, up in the air, I feel more confident Ja Morant's health and ability to lead a team. Thaddeus Young outside to Boucher, kick up top to Gary Trent off the bench. He's way off on the 3. Pelicans up 21-17 in full flow offensively. Murphy to Jones. Little resistance as he puts in the reverse layup. Defense a little bit off on that one. 6-point game for the Pelicans now, their biggest lead. Raptors just need to get back in here. 20-8 run for the Pelicans. Not having any ability to generate stops at the moment. 23-17. Van Vliet using the whole shot clock just to turn it over there. Here comes Zion. He's scoring. Throws down the dunk. Raptors need a timeout. 25-17 New Orleans. Bro, if you didn't... Nick, you have all your timeouts. Nobody will get mad if you don't call a timeout. Nobody will get mad if you call a timeout. Sorry. There's just no way he doesn't... Siakam to Van Vliet. Early 3 here. See, they're gonna. That's where you call a timeout. That, like, Zion dunked it. The crowd was on their feet. They were on a huge run. Crowd engaged, momentum. How do you not call a timeout there? I think that's just insane. Man, oh man. JV in mid-range puts it up. No good. Rebound out of bounds. That should be a Raptors ball. And now did he just call a timeout? Oh no, there's subs. You can't stop him. I actually would like to see Juancho come in. Who would have thought I'd say that? Stream audio is delayed. I don't know. Try refreshing. Unless you already did, then I don't know. I'm out of control. It's beyond the scope of my controls, unfortunately. So apologies. I wish I could fix. Gary Trent inside to Koloko. Good look here, and he lays it in. Nice feed there by Trent. Well, we'll take that. Well, Sam can't play the whole game. Nice job there by Koloko to finish there. So they're bringing in the big. They have Koloko against Nance. So I wonder if they line that up specifically, matchup-wise. Here's Nance. Gives it to Zion. Switches on to Koloko. Now in the corner. Shots up for Dyson Daniels, who puts in the three-pointer. 8th overall pick in the draft. And the Pelicans on a big run, now up 9. Van Vliet gives it to Koloko. Nance defending. Koloko kick out to Fred. Here's Trent. Raptors could use a bucket here. Goes to the rim and gets the and one. Big bucket there by Gary Trent. The 905 coach, who I can't pronounce his name, has analytics proving timeouts are bad. What do you mean by that? So like this is a big thing in football, but like just blaming like analytics is like it's not just like what analytics would do if you dive into deep stats. It shows probability metrics, so likeliest sort of outcome. So let's say like NFL. Fourth and 1 at midfield. Your success rate and probability of winning the game improve by going for it on 4th and 1, I would say almost exclusively around midfield. So just because sometimes it doesn't work out, from a statistical standpoint, you're probably better off doing that. I don't know if that's like you're saying about the timeouts thing. I just think Nick Nurse is bad at calling timeouts. Birch should be in the 5. Best paint defender. I don't care if he doesn't score. There's an argument for Birch or Koloko. I guess they want the size here with Koloko. Typically, Birch also gets minutes here. I'm not sure. Raise Washington, huge wins. Fuck Washington. He's also, I think he's gotten better at the challenges thing, but yeah, he's not great at that. he was really bad at them originally, but his timeouts thing are annoying. The worst timeout maybe ever called in NBA history was when the Raptors were cooking in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and he called a timeout and killed his own team's momentum, and the Warriors ended up winning that game. And he says it's like that. He says like that timeout he still gets made fun of for it today. It's easy to make fun of it when you still win the series, right? I actually don't. I can't explain Zion. I don't think anybody can explain how Zion moves like that without being on steroids. It's just insane, isn't it? When was the last time I went to church? Probably been like 17 years, pal. I was in a church like 2 weeks ago. I actually felt so uncomfortable I had to leave. I just was so out of place there. I'm like, I just can't do this. I haven't been to like a church service probably since I was 5 years old. Weird question to ask. Gary Trent gets the N1 and misses the free throw. Raptors could have used it, but provide a little bit of a spark there at least. Devontae Graham here gives it to Willie Hernangomez. Going to have some brother action this one. Hernangomez puts it up and puts in the shot off the glass there. So Pelicans, I would say like Raptors of the West in terms of the way they build their team. Small guards, small feisty guards, but long athletic players all over the rest of the court, switchable players. So interesting matchup here. So far, I just think the momentum and the hustle has been with the Pelicans, and that has helped them to this lead because the Raptors run like a 9-2 run to start the game, and since then, the Pelicans fully in control. Nice feed by Van Vliet, and Koloko puts it in there. Timeout taken by the Pelicans here after one bucket there, if you'd believe it. So he feels a sense of momentum and calls a timeout. So I think that was a bit premature to what the Raptors would typically do with the timeouts, to what I would typically do. Raptors always late a little bit. NBA bets today. I just have I have a small little pennies on the Rockets money line. I didn't like a lot of the NBA slate today. I was also a little bit too busy to dive into it. Your friend had a bad experience who went to church. I never go, so I can't relate. Merge these coaches together and you have the perfect time. Well, listen, like there's different styles of coaching. I fully believe Nick Nurse is late on his timeouts a lot of the time and is too conservative with his timeouts. Like me, I would try to stop a run before it happens. If I feel a creep of momentum, a creep of a team getting back in the game, I'd call a timeout. Maybe like that would be bad if it was put to the test, but I feel like Nick Nurse waits a little bit too long trying to get his guys to figure it out. We're like not even a quarter in. I'm not going to make a claim about a guy in a game. I'm not going to make a claim after 10 minutes. 38 to go for guys to make impacts here. Dyson Daniels on the outside gives it to Graham. Juancho Hernangomez checked in, and he fouls Graham. So Hernangomez started the last game. He's been playing really well. Getting in a little bit late here. I thought they should have brought him in earlier. Want to use his size and length here. Garrett Temple, man, I just think this guy's so bad at basketball. Anybody else feel that way about Garrett Temple? How's he still in the league, to be honest? This is crazy. Not as bad as Isaac Okoro. I actually started a bit of a dialogue with Cavaliers fans online about Isaac Okoro the other day because I was just very vocal about how bad of a player he is. Garrett Temple still kicking it, man. He's still here. I like the Barnes Rancho branch. Nick Nurse flight isn't just fast enough. I don't know. I NBA coaches in general give him extreme credit for his ability to make adjustments. I think most of that is probably like we watch this team all the time and we notice those things as more so. I don't know. I think we don't give him enough credit there sometimes. Juancho has to go through his legs. Barnes is pissed. Barnes just fucking threw a heater at Juancho's feet and then got mad at him for letting it go out of bounds. Like, sure, he could have stopped it. That was a horrible pass. Inside for Hernangomez. This is Willie. Let's call him Willie, who throws it down 34-23 for the Pelicans. So very, very bad defense so far by the Raptors, and the Pelicans are taking full advantage of it, using the size to advantage. Raptors usually not beaten by size. The Pelicans doing it today, big time down low. Raptors are playing fine offensively. Gary Trent knocks down a big three to try to get back into the game here. Rim protection is an issue at the moment. Another foul called against the Raptors. Scottie Barnes commits a foul. That's just such a bad foul to commit. Dyson Daniel going to head to the line here. There's two Hernangomez. They are brothers. Willie plays for the Pelicans. Juancho plays for the Raptors. Gary giving us a nice spark off the bench. This role really suits him. I could see this being permanent. We'll see. Nurse going to start him next game. Not a big effect on the game yet from Barnes. No. A lot of time. Barnes is a frustrating player. Dyson Daniels misses the second free throw, and the rebound goes to Koloko, a little bit unconvincingly. I mean, I don't mind giving Barnes the benefit of the doubt. I personally would have gone with the same lineups as last game. Gary Trent for 3, and Gary Trent Jr. is balling for the Raptors tonight. Huge spark off the bench, has the Raptors back in it, down 2 possessions. Nance Jr. in the corner for 3, and he cancels it out with a 3 of his own. So Pelicans hurting the Raptors in every which way, back to a 9-point game here. 34 seconds to go in the quarter. Barnes, early 3, doesn't go. You'll have to explain to me why Barnes is shooting that. 2-for-1 opportunity, get it? Give it to somebody else to do that shot. You're not hitting shots. You're not, why shoot that? Other side for Nance. Here's Devontae Graham, defended by Trent. 1 second on the shot clock for Graham. No good. Rebound to Barnes. Raptors give it away. Barnes gives it right to the Pelicans with a second left. Wow. That was really bad. That was really, really bad. Oh. All right, yeah, Barnes, not a good first quarter there. Raptors as a whole, not a good quarter either. They were really, 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 really bad on defense. They just could not generate stops all over the place. And offensively, they looked more than fine. A couple of guys not hitting their shots as of yet, but more than fine offensively. In fact, the team as a whole shot 57% from the field. Yet, here you are down by 11 points because you can't get a stop. Wow, Cleveland are beating Philly by 27 points right now. All right, rough quarter for the Raptors. Pelicans are shooting 72%. So I'll pull up the box score here. So far offensively, you've gotten great numbers from Siakam there. He's 11 points on 5 for 8 shooting. OG has a 3 early on. Gary Trent providing a big spark off the bench. He's 2 for 3 from 3 with 8 points. The bench unit came in and didn't give us much here today, though. All of them in the negative. So, I mean, the whole team's in negative other than OG, who came out after 6 minutes. This team is just kind of falling apart right now. Van Vliet is 0 for 2. Scottie Barnes really struggled in that first quarter. He's 0 for 3. 2 of those were 3-pointers. You'll have to let me know why Barnes is taking 2 early shot clock 3-pointers. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Took an early one to get the 2-for-1 just to get the rebound off of the Pelicans to miss for that second possession in the 2-for-1 just to give it away. That was really bad. Yeah, not a good quarter for him. 3 turnovers as well. Oh my goodness. We'll need Barnes to step up in the second quarter beyond. Pelicans, Zion's 5 for 5. Larry Nance 2 for 2. Willie's 2 for 2. These guys just putting the ball in the bucket right now. They're 16 for 22 from the field. The Raptors are going to find a way to generate a stop, or this game is going to be ugly here. So far, a little bit dead, but we have the players to overcome. We're shooting fine. Just need to get the rebounds, need to force turnovers, and they'll come back down from that 72%. We just need to be a lot better defending the paint. What are the points in the paint right now? Points in the paint, they got 24 points in the paint to our 16. 16 is good for us, but we got to find a way to generate stops right now. Rim protection is a little bit slow. Blow-bys are a little bit too easy. I mean, they're just kind of running by our guys. Zion, you shouldn't really have this excuse, but Zion, yeah, he's going to be able to do that, but Zion doesn't shoot 100%. Zion misses sometimes. You got to find a way to get him to miss some of those shots. Is that going to be throwing doubles at him? Is that going to be having better help defense? Is that going to be going into a zone? A lot of things you can experiment with, but regardless, defense needs to be better right now. Van Vliet for OG, who turns it over. Ooh, nearly turns it over. He's lucky. It gets a deflection and it's out of bounds for a Raptors ball. Barnes is not 2 years away from me. 2 years away. Barnes is Barnes is right there. And another turnover by the Raptors. My goodness. You don't just give Rookie of the Year to a guy who's 4 years away. Willie to Graham on the outside. Kicks it out to Dyson Daniels. Has a lane inside. And just the lack of resistance as he entered the lane there was crazy. There was decent help by Koloko, which forced the floater. But the way he just casually ran inside there, too easy. Juancho yanks to 3. No good. Rebound by Nance. Pelicans up by 13 here. Raptors struggling on the stops department. Offense has been fine. Shooting above 50%. Cannot generate stops here. Hernangomez on Koloko. This is Willie. Kicks it out to Dyson Daniels for 3. This is no good. Rebound by Koloko. Raptors want to get it out quickly. They start with Siakam. Pelicans hustle back. And Siakam goes up, and tough shot, no good. Here come the Pelicans again the other way with Daniels. Lays it up and lays it in. Dyson Daniels, he's not this good. 15-point game for the Pelicans. Raptors not generating stops. Van Vliet out to Siakam. Garrett Temple defending. Double comes. Wide open. Fred Van Vliet for 3. And he misses. Tip in, though. Don't know if that was Juancho or Siakam put it in. Raptors, at the end of the day, do get the bucket. Fred's got to hit that shot. Daniels in the lane to Temple. Too easy. Temple to Willie. And he just walked to the rim. There you go. Koloko with that help defense. Shuts the door on Willie Hernangomez. Raptors going the other way with Fred Van Vliet. Trying to get them quickly. And Fred, transition 3, is no good. And a loose ball foul called to the other side. So, looked like Fred there. Probably not a great shot early in the shot clock. I think he recognized maybe the rebounders were there if he got the miss. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But slow start for Fred Van Vliet today. $13-point game. Juancho, corner 3, wide open, and he knocks it down. Yes, sir. That's when Juancho's got to be hidden, and he hits it there. Back to a 10-point game. Let's slowly chip back into it. Plenty of game left. 33 minutes of it. Garrett Temple, nice closeout by Juancho. Temple in the paint. Got the reverse. I mean, that's a tough bucket. They're just hitting everything right now. Van Vliet inside to OG. Nance defending. Got to pass that. Outside and very poor pass to Juancho, who probably should not have saved it. Gives it to Daniels. And he's blocked by Siakam. It goes out to Graham for 3. No good. Rebound there. So great hustle there by Siakam to stop the bucket. Fred going right to the rim. Layup is good. What a play by Fred. Wanted the foul. Will not get it, but great take by Fred to the rim. Going past contact to put it down. 10-point lead for the Pelicans. Graham to Hernangomez. Willie back to Graham. Outside for Nance. Corner 3. Opportunity, but I believe he stepped out of bounds. Yes, he did step out of bounds. And it'll be a Raptors ball on the turnovers. Fred saw the lane. Went right at Temple. I'm not scared of Temple. You shouldn't be either. Got the bucket to go. So defensively, Raptors not look good. Offensively, shots are falling, creating good looks. It's just getting the stops has been the problem. Siakam going up, and he's got fouled there by Larry Nance Jr. Pascal Siakam heading to the line there, being aggressive. Siakam had 11 points really, really early on in this game. Was it 11? Was it 9? He had 9 in like the first 2 minutes. He had 11. He's 5 for 9, heading to the line here. First free throw is up, and it's no good. Oh, hit your free throws, man. The Pelicans are like, what are they, the 4th or 5th seed? It's like they're a bad team. Siakam's second free throw is good. 12 points for Pascal, 9-point game. Larry Nance on the outside. Zion's back in. OG defending. Somebody needs to help OG, though. Maybe the DPOI combo might take a hit today. My stream froze here. Murphy has the ball in his hands. He's kind of Okay, they scored. They scored a 3, actually. TSN crashed. It's paused on Fred shooting a 3 with 15 seconds of the shot clock. Can't imagine that was a good shot by Fred. It doesn't go. Why are you shooting that, man? Freezes again. Okay, I gotta refresh. This is... Why are you shooting that, Fred? You don't need... It's one thing if you're 3 for 5 and you're hot, you're feeling it. It's another thing when you haven't hit a 3 tonight, right? You don't need to do that. Then he just does it and he hits hits one, then he also hits 3 in a row. All right, my stream's frozen. I have no idea what's going on right now. My stream is done. Told me what? See what? What are you fucking talking about? Another 3 for the Pelicans as Herb Jones drops it. Pelicans are on pace to put up 170 points right now. Siakam to OG. Kicks it out to Siakam. It's just going to be give it to Siakam and pray. Mid-range for Siakam doesn't go here. 52-37 for the Pelicans. Zion gives it to Graham. Now Herb Jones. Now Murphy. They're working around the perimeter. Little resistance to paint. And Jones. Good defense by Koloko there to get the stop. Raptors the other way with Juancho. On the outside, gives it to Siakam. Graham defending. Bro, take this one-on-one. Just take this. Double comes by Jones. Has to get it out. That's not good. Zion going the other way in transition. Lobs it up. Errant pass by Zion. It's out of bounds. It will be a Pelicans ball. This is really bad basketball by the Raptors. We should just call a timeout and just say, what the fuck are you guys doing? Pelicans up by 15. Ugly start to the game for the Raptors. Pelicans hitting everything right now. Raptors offense slowing down to go along with it after a really good first quarter of offense. Pelicans just can't miss. They're shooting 65%. It's easy when you're dunking the ball and laying up the ball a lot. But on threes as well. 6 for 11 from 3 so far. And too many turnovers, too many rebounds allowed. Just really not much going well for the Raptors at the moment. You guys, so I made a mistake today. I was making a salad at dinner. I like putting feta in my salad, and I opened up the container, and it didn't look right. Or didn't smell right either. And I looked at the expiry date, and it said August 2023. So I'm like, there's no way it went bad. So then I sampled a little bit of the feta, and then I really knew something was off. So we then threw out the feta, but I think, though I may have only had a little piece of it, the way my stomach feels right now, it appears as though the damage has been done. It was only like that much, but it appears as though that small amount may have done the damage. Could be a troublesome evening for your boy here. Troublesome evening. Speaking of those, could be one here for the Raptors. 52-37 for the Pelicans, hitting everything. Raptors shooting 50%. So the offense hasn't looked that bad. It's getting the stops. Pelicans really pushing in transition. This is how other teams must feel when they play against the Raptors, because they're using their size, their length, they're getting in the lane, they're hitting threes, disrupting on defense. Herb Jones is a goon, and a lot of things going wrong here. Could be some bathroom breaks. We'll see. We definitely look a step slow. Yeah, let's try to keep it within single digits by halftime. This could get ugly if it continues this way. I mean, just little resistance. They're just getting everything they want at the moment. Fred's had a really bad start to the game shooting-wise and shot IQ-wise. He's trying to shoot himself out of the slump. Scottie's done nothing except give the ball turn it over to the Pelicans so far in this game. Siakam, that got out to the hot start, but right now it's just basically give it the ball and hope. So, bad start for the Raptors here. Wait, why are they shooting free throws? Technical. Tech was called on Van Vliet, so missing shots and giving them points for free. Maybe just trying to get us going, but I never think that's. I mean, very rarely is that a viable excuse. So, 16-point game, and the Pelicans have the ball. Shot goes up for Murphy for 3, no good. Rebound by Fred. Largest lead for the Pelicans, up by 16. A lot of game for the Raptors to chip away, but with so much to go, they got to get started now. OG goes in strong, gets the and one to make it a 14-point game, chance to make it 13 at the line. Great job by OG there, being aggressive. He's just so strong. He just doesn't do this enough. Like, how often do I say it? Like, it's sometimes it just is that easy. Stay aggressive, get to the paint, and OG is good enough to score there. OG at the line, hits the free throw. 53-40. Not out of reach. We're only in the second quarter. Not out of reach here. It can get ugly if you don't put a stop to the bleeding, but it is doable from here. Zion Williamson. It's a game of runs. Williamson, foul called. So Raptors, another big problem here. Fouls coming in everywhere. They're not in the bonus yet, but they're probably going to be in there soon. They're just getting all the whistles right now. I mean, a lot of these are fouls, granted, but got to defend without fouling. So inbound by Zion here. If he's inbounded, there must be some sort of play drawn up. Zion gets it in, and he's stolen by Siakam. Take it strong. Gives it to Birch in the lane, lays it in. Nice play by Siakam. Gets the steal and the assist. Well done. And Birch does a good job to run with the play and gets the easy layup as a result. Herb Jones, hand off to Zion. There we go. Birch in the paint. Good defense there. But JV is open at the top for 3. TSN has frozen again here. He didn't make the shot. I see OG with the ball in his hands. It's frozen again. Here we go. OG with it. Dribbling at Jones. Step back and okay. See, these are the things. OG, he's not a good mid-range shooter. Don't settle for that. You're early in the shot clock. Number 1, you can find a better shot. Number 2, you're good enough to get to the rim and take a shot where you're a much higher percentage look. And it froze again. TSN, you guys need to fix your shit tonight because I'm trying to watch this goddamn game. They made it 2. So they make it 3? They're 55 now. I have to refresh again. This is crazy. I'm trying to watch a fucking basketball game here, TSN. And another bucket there by the Pelicans. Them coming back in. And the lead is back up to 15 after Trey Murphy scores. Oh, he scores 3, so it's 16 points. Excuse me. Trent, open for 3. Off on this one. He's 2 for 4 now. Zion in transition to Murphy for 3. This one's no good, but the long rebound is out to Daniels. Raptors need to regroup here. Zion with Fred defending. Double comes from Siakam. Got to rotate. JV straightaway 3 is good. Nobody respected the shot. I mean, this guy can hit threes now. And the Raptors, who just partially pulled back into the game, made it an 11-point game, allow big run here by the Pelicans. All of a sudden, it's a 19-point game. Defense, I mean, effort-wise, it's been bad. Individually speaking, the defense been bad. Blow-bys are too easy. And then team-wise, the closeouts are horrible. The effort, it just looks very nonchalant out there. This is bad. Gregory's shutting this off. I mean, hey, nobody's making you watch the game, man. If you want to turn it off, feel free. You don't have to watch. Playing down is a strong statement to make about a team that has a better record than you. It's effort. I think right now is the biggest thing. This is bad. This is a bad game. It's rough. They got a chance. I mean, yeah, there's how long left in this game? There's like 30 minutes to go here. So, how much time's left? Oh, there's 28 minutes to go. There's just more than enough time to overcome a deficit like this. It's just very unlikely to do that. It's not impossible. We've seen bigger comebacks. Very lethargic, yes. just weird. I just sometimes I get it that just the feelings off of the team in sports, but man, I just don't understand how the effort can't be there. How can the effort? How can you not show up and bring the effort to a game? That's just something I've always struggled to understand. I don't know, but this is rough by the Raptors here. Had a really, really good team win against the Cavaliers where everybody was chipping in, everybody was playing well, it seemed. And today you just come into it and it's flat. Nobody really doing anything out there. On defense, offensively, Siakam had that hot start. Other than that, I mean, it's been not so great by Toronto. Fred VanVleet not shooting well. Barnes not doing anything. This is bad. This is very, very bad. Holman, Pels are making their threes. We can't afford to double and leave wide open. We can't afford to not double, though, because then Zion just runs in and dunks it. Oh, man. It's frustrating. Raptors were slight favorites. They weren't big favorites. They were 2.5-point favorites. But obviously, it's not going well at all here, considering as well they're missing guys. Gary Trent going to the rim and can't get the bounce, but does get the foul. He's going to head to the line. So Raptors had partially chipped into the lead here. I believe they got it down to an 11-point game at one point. Chipped it back down a bit. And then all of a sudden, 9-0 run, or 8-0 run, I think, by the Pelicans just completely shut that down. So Raptors going to start all over again. Gary Trent at the line here. People are dumping on Fred too, buddy. It's not like they're only dumping on Barnes. So away with your false narratives, pal. I think they just like Boucher as the sixth man, the energy guy off the bench. I think that's just what he does. I think there's an understanding as well. Travel called against Jones there. Fred's been bad. Barnes been bad. Yes. Everybody's been bad on defense, though. Didn't notice we down. I don't know. It's right there. I mean, we're not down 19 right now, but it's right here. It's pretty easy to see a score. Burt loses it on the turnover. Alvarado gives it to JV. Alvarado gets it back. Drives by. Lobs up to Zion, who misses the alley-oop, but gets his own miss and puts it away. Like, that just can't happen. That just can't happen. Now it's 19. 63-44. Barnes to Trent. Now Boucher to OG. Raptors are going to get something going. Relying on OG here. 5 in the shot clock. Barnes open for 3. And Barnes finally gets one and going. 63-47. Barnes in the corner 3. Zion with Barnes defending. Drives right past him. Loses the handle. And eventually steps out of bounds. It will be Raptors ball. Down 16 here. 2:39 to go in the second quarter. Raptors with the opportunity to just chip away a little bit into this lead. OG to Trent. Trent, deep in 2. No good. Yeah, it's just, don't shoot that. Just don't shoot that. You know? Never. You just don't shoot that. Murphy to Jones. Now JV for 3. Hit one. Good contest there by Barnes. Flipped out to Alvarado. Entry pass in for Murphy, and he slammed it down easily. No resistance on the inside. Pelicans walking circles around us. And another easy dunk on the end of it. Barnes, late to his rotation there. Easy play. OG to Barnes for 3 again. I mean, you hit one. I get it, buddy. But Do we need to shoot another one early in the shot clock? 18-point game, 65-47. JV to Alvarado. Now Zion, a foul is called against Boucher. This might be bonus, not bonus yet. A lot of dunks by the Pelicans. Not a lot of resistance by the Raptors. Guys, if you enjoyed my stream at least, you may not be enjoying the game. If you're enjoying my commentary, my criticism, my dialogue, please make sure you have liked up the stream. 2 more to go to 50. JV to Jones. Almost killed a guy in the paint. He's heading to the line on the foul. So Jones, a simple pump fake by Jones, and he just walked right up to the rim. Simple pump fake. And he has a wide open look. Not wide open, but he runs to the rim. Little resistance. Almost murders Ken Burch on the dunk. And he's going to head to the line. This is rough. Yeah, you're really getting nothing from Barnes right now. He had that 1-3, but you're really getting nothing from him. He's turning the ball over. He's not playing defense. He's not scoring. It is a damn shame. 20-point game. 1:28 to go. VanVleet to Trent. Open for 3. Doesn't go this time. 2 for 5 on threes. I believe now Trent. Pelicans the other way. Hot from the floor. It's making use of the poor interior defense by the Raptors, spreading the ball, though, and moving it well. JV down low, and another wide open dunk by the Pelicans. They're just walking around us. It is a 22-point game. This is ugly. This is going to be a blowout. Trent to Thad. VanVleet for 3 early in the shot clock. No good. Oh. They're going to score again. I mean, how are you going to stop them? They get a foul. They're going back to the line. Oh, my goodness, man. They look so good. They look so good against the Cavs. What the fuck happened? They look so good against the Cavs. Zion, chance to make it 24 points with 44 seconds to go. And he hits the first free throw. 23-point game for the Pelicans. Raptors offense has gone cold. Defense never even showed up to begin with. Pelicans score 40 in the first quarter. Second quarter, they're at 31, and there is 44 seconds to go, so they are going to get the ball back as well. 71-47. It is not even halftime yet, and they have 71 points. VanVleet to Barnes, down low in the paint, turns around with the right. Could you not have just dunked that? What the fuck was that? Could he not have just dunked that on the first go? He had a shorter guy in him. Could he not have just gone up with aggression and easily laid that up? What was he thinking? Why? How can you be at the rim with a shorter guy on you and settle for a turnaround hook shot? That's nuts. Murphy for 3. Oh, just everything falling for them. Hits the bank 3, and it's a 26-point game. Yikes. Oh, my goodness. VanVleet half-court heave is off. 26-point game at halftime. Gotta say, if it wasn't my job, essentially, to stream, I'd be shutting this one off and playing Switch or something. This is I can't have really imagined this having gone worse for the Raptors. Wow, that was just so bad. Cavs, you held to 88 points. Yeah, you held them to 88 points on Monday. And the Pelicans are going to hit that probably 4 minutes into the third quarter. This is crazy right now. Had a good start. Siakam had 9 points in the first 2 minutes. He was 4 for 4. Raptors were looking like they were getting stops and putting the ball in the basket. Obviously, I was only 2 minutes in, and then the Pelicans just went on a run from there, and the Raptors have not found their mojo since. Offensively, first quarter, it was pretty good by the Raptors. Second quarter, offense fell apart, and the defense stayed as is. The Pelicans had 40 points in the first quarter, and the second quarter, they just kept it going. They had 33 second quarter points. We must have gotten like less than 20, 18 second quarter points by the Raptors. The post-game show, we're going to have to wait till at least the end of the third. Wow, you're getting a lot of bad games from a lot of people tonight. VanVleet is 1 for 8, and he is Jesus. Just stop shooting. Unless this is a front. So like obviously I'm a big Fred VanVleet fan. This is one of those bad games he's having. You're 0 for 4 from 3, let's say. An early shot clock contested 3, probably not a shot you should take. And then he just keeps shooting, and it's just such a bad Like he's 0 for 7 from 3. Just stop shooting. What are you doing, man? 5 rebounds, 3 assists, but Jesus Christ, like that's a detriment to the team. Barnes is doing like nothing. Is three assists now, 3 turnovers. What has happened to him? I mean, there was that play. He was at the rim. It must have been. I can't quite remember. It was a guard. It was a shorter guard on him. He was like 1-on-1 at the rim. The guard was in front of him, but Scottie Barnes is big enough, strong enough, good enough to just dunk the ball or be aggressive and lay it up, get it by the player. They've added on another point for the Pelicans. So a 2 they had earlier has now been made a 3, it looks like. So it is a 27-point lead for the Pelicans. Barnes, put the ball in the fucking basket, man. And play defense. His defense has been horrendous here, too. Quentin Monin, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Amateur Army. Wish we had better circumstances to celebrate your new subscription. Thaddeus Young hasn't gotten much time here. He hasn't been doing much. Boucher is literally doing cardio. You wouldn't know he was here unless he had that foul. He literally is doing nothing tonight. You can convince me he wasn't even playing in that game so far. Juancho, I actually thought Juancho looked better than a lot of the guys tonight, so 7 minutes is a little bit confusing. Koloko, Kem Birch, at least are defending the paint a bit better. Gary Trent, positivity from a scoring standpoint. He's 10 points, 3 for 7, 2 for 5. He's minus 23, and he's minus 23 because, yet again, he is a pylon on defense. Zion's 7 for 8. Jonas is 4 for 8. Jones is 4 for 7. Murphy's 5 for 7. Nance is 2 for 2. Temple's 1 for 1. Hernangomez, which is Willie, 2 for 3. Daniel's 3 for 5. It's just everybody. Everybody is beating up everybody. It is an absolute, utter beatdown. They're on pace for 148 points. They're on pace to beat us by nearly 60 points here. Our shooting has gone down from the first quarter. It was horrific in the second quarter. They are still lighting us up. 63 from the field, 64 from the field, 50% from 3. Out-rebounding us like crazy. Forcing more turnovers. I mean, there's not really one thing you can point to that went well. Siakam started 4 for 4. Since then, he's 1 for 6. Even he can't get the ball in the bucket today. Oh, my goodness. I mean, the rebounding. Their out-rebounding was 27 to 13. I guess part of that is obviously we're missing more, so they're just getting easy defensive rebounds. But holy shit. Like, did anybody show up tonight? No energy, no effort, and they're just walking by us scoring with relative ease. They're just walking in and scoring. I mean, how many dunks? we're going to set a record here for dunks because they're just walking up and dunking the ball. If not, they move the ball, they make 3 passes, then the next guy dunks the ball. It was, yeah, I think that's the worst half we could have possibly had there. I don't know. I guess you got a game on Friday because you're not winning this one. They're too proud to just go out, but what do you even do? What do you do if you're Nick Nurse? What do you say if you're Nick Nurse? I guess you have to say like you want to get embarrassed. You want to get embarrassed here, type thing. I guess that's all you can really say as a coach because you're not winning this game and you're not convincing the players that you're going to win this game. So that's ridiculous. Got to find a way to get some stops here, and maybe work on some things because the Pelicans, I think, are the sort of Raptors of the West. They've built a team around smaller guards and super athletic two-way lengthy players. So it was an interesting matchup going into the game, I thought, but as of right now, obviously going really poorly. Wow, yeah, really bad. Sorry, work thing. 1 second. Scottie only is selling for jumpers. Good. Yeah, Scottie was a thing. Like there was that one play right at the end of the half where he had a smaller guy on him. It was 1v1 and he slowed down. He like tucked it in. Then 3 guys on him and then he turned around and just like faded away and heaved one with his right hand rather than just going strong to the rim. Like, you know, if you go through contact with a bigger guy, like look, if you go up strong, I'll always be comfortable with this. If you have a good matchup and you go up strong and you force that guy to make a good defensive play, then you'll hold your hands up, you'll applaud him. Okay, good stop. I'll get you next time, whatever. But settling for a low efficiency shot, like that's just unacceptable with over 5 seconds on the shot clock. It's just unacceptable to me. So OG, he's not the strongest guy on the floor today, but he's stronger than a lot of the guys on the floor today. Him settling for like a mid-range shot where he's turning around and fading away. Sure, you know what? A lot of them went in against Cleveland. A lot of them have not been going in this season, and to be honest, it's been a low. I haven't gone into the statistics on this. My perception is it's an incredibly inefficient shot by OG. It worked well against Cleveland. Maybe he wants to cook with that again today, see if he can get that going. But ultimately, there's the game against the Mavericks where there was 3 straight plays late in the game, in the clutch, where we just gave it to OG, let him get downhill and get to the rim, and he scored 2 and got fouled on the 3rd one where he hit both free throws. So sometimes you just make the game a lot harder than it needs to be. You can make it a little bit simpler by taking the high percentage looks, moving the ball better, and that's just the half of it. The defense has been where it's even worse right now. You got to get some fucking stops here. Yeah. Same line that works last 2. Well, you obviously want to get your starters involved. Gary, he's looking better offensively. He can't play defense to save his fucking life. That's part of the problem. I don't know. It's tough to pin it on specific lineups. Like the whole team just looks like shit today. It's just straight up the whole team looks like shit today. We can get it down to about 12. Johnny, love you, man. Johnny, we get it to 12. You're right there. You get it to 12. You're right there. Oh boy. Maybe. All right. At this point, you're down 27. I guess it ain't over. We've made bigger comebacks, but at this point, you've lost the game. Let's be real. You've lost the game. At least let's treat the second half like let's treat the third quarter like a new game. Let's treat the third quarter like it's 0-0 because you're not going to get 27 points back in one play. It's going to be sustainable, consistent offense. It's probably not going to happen, but can you go win this quarter? Can you go outplay this team in the third quarter? Can you give yourself something to work with for Friday's game against the Brooklyn Nets? Can a guy show that he deserves more play time on Friday against the Brooklyn Nets? Because every time we go 2 games above 500, we just go back down to 500, losing 2 games in a row. This would be the first of 2 losses. But win this third quarter. Win this third quarter. Play better. Fix some of the things that are going wrong. My goodness, at least look like you give a shit about playing basketball today. And, you know, people are out here paying all these prices to watch this game today. Give us something to enjoy a little bit at least. Uh, 27. You think we can't do that? I mean, you have to look at it from a realistic standpoint. You're probably not coming back from 27 down. Did I say you can't? No, but I think the task is a little bit too daunting to look at as a whole. It's like being down 3-0 in a series. If you look at it as 4 games in a row, you're probably going to struggle. If you look at it at 1 game, you just got to win game 4, and then you work from there. Then it's a little bit different. So win this quarter, win the little battles, win the non-Zion minutes in particular, really beat up the non-Zion minutes, and see where that takes you from there. Because if you just immediately look at the 27, I think it's going to be ugly. So get out there, show what you worked, like you spoke about at halftime. But like, yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, look, it's not impossible. We've come back from, what was it, 81-50 against the Mavericks. So we've come back from worse. But I mean, probably like less than 1% of the variable, or 1% of the potential outcomes here hold the Raptors getting a win. What I wonder what actually, let's check the live odds. Let's actually check the live odds here on the Raptors. Less mid-range, less your Pascal. That's like literally it honestly can be that easy. I'm not even joking. I say that all the time. All right, let's see. You know what? I actually think I just got some bet credits from Bet365. We have the Raptors plus 1,700, so 17 to 1. We got some bet credits, World Cup bet credits. 17 to 1. Let's put that in a percentage. That's about 3%, I believe. Raptors are plus 7. There's only 365. There's probably a better price somewhere else. Raptors at 1,700. Just under a 5% chance that the Raptors win this game. So there you have it. It is bad. It is more than bad. Defense is horrific. That's just the biggest thing. Uncontested dunks, uncontested threes. Trevor Gleason is saying yes. It's pretty much. I mean, it's pretty much as simple as that. In it. I mean, 47 points isn't great for a half, but, you know, you shouldn't be down by more than 10, 11 with that. Oh, man. Listen, you think Scottie Barnes is bad. Wait till you watch Jalen Suggs play basketball. All right, well, we out here. Let's see what you got, Toronto. Siakam early. Layup is good. Nice feed by Fred. 2 down. All right. It ain't impossible. It is improbable. Don't say I said it was impossible. I said it was in the realm of possibilities. But we'll see. Alvarado turns it over. Raptors. I thought it was turned over. Zion fights back for it. And now Herb Jones, sorry, is that Murphy for 3? No good. Rebound by Fred. It's tipped away by Alvarado for a Raptors ball. And Alvarado gets teed up. Okay. Here we go. Atlanta B, you're right. Defense first. Oh, Fred got a tech. So Fred is out of the game. So Fred played like shit and then left the game. And I mean, that looked like a soft tech. Let's see this here. How is that a tech? How is that a tech? Oh my God, how is that a tech? No bitches association, bro. What is that shit? That's a horrible call. Gary Trent for 3. That's nothing. That's generally nothing. That's a shit call. Raptors chipping into this. It's 23 points now. Siakam fouled in transition. Maybe this just injects a little bit of something into, the game. I don't know. We're trying to find some sort of narrative to be happy about. You know what I mean? Guys, remember, if you are enjoying the stream, at least, you may not be enjoying the game. You could be enjoying me talking about the game. Make sure you have liked up the stream. Siakam's fouled there. Almost gets the and one, but he's going to be heading to the line. Unfortunately, Fred will not have the second half to try to make up for those horrible first half numbers. He's going to finish the game 1 for 8, 0 for 7 from 3, 2 points. Yeah, not good. Yeah, the Coloco ejection sparked the team. Almost 20-point comeback. Who knows? The Raptors went on have been on like a 21-0 run this season. They've been on a 16-0 run this season. Is Fred the 3,000 IQ play? That was not a tech. That was a frustrated Fred who just let his frustration into a big meaty clap, and ref got too sensitive. That was so bad. And JV going up, putting it in. 23-point game. Barnes can't even pass to the guy inbounding, man. OG to Trent, has a lane inside. JV comes in late and nearly gets the end one again, a Raptors player, but it's a foul by JV. Gary Trent will head to the line here. JV just clapped. That's a tech. Did you guys see JV clap there? Why didn't they give him a tech for that? Listen, I'm all for this Trent off the bench playing good offense today. He's defending like a pylon and misses the free throw there. Quinton, I gotta tell you, you're entitled to your own opinion. Clapping and going to the ref, not a tech. I've seen a lot worse not get called. Listen, if my team was down by 20, I'd be pissed as well. Zion off the glass, gets the roll there, and the lead is back to a 24-point margin. Siakam in the paint, kick out to OG. Three-pointer is up, no good. Rebound by JV. It's a terrible call, absolutely. Zion in transition now. OG defending. Herb Jones to corner for JV. Now Alvarado drives in. He walks past Barnes. Great job by Coloco. I mean, like, Barnes is going to have to start trying, like, at least trying on defense tonight. Gary's not going to be on the team fast deadline. I don't know. I can see it. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Appreciate it, but I don't know. Scottie Barnes just looking like a nightmare tonight. Like Fred had a bad game. Like, Scottie Barnes is doing fuck all, man. He's jogging out there. My man is actually doing cardio. He is literally just standing there on defense. Just standing there. He's literally standing there. Did you guys see Alvarado just walk past him there? Just nothing. You like just abs just stood there. Feel free. That was crazy. I like you like if you know me, whatever. You have a bad game. Bad games happen. Bad games happen. The best teams have bad games. The best players have bad games. Those things happen. That sometimes can be beyond your control. Things aren't going. What is always and always in your control is how hard you try. No matter how bad you're playing, you can make a hustle play on defense. You can move your feet. You can stay with your check. Yeah, maybe they beat you too much because you're having a bad game defensively, but you could run. You could engage. You could look in like amateur, like ready position. What you'd teach to a 6-year-old, being in a ready position. Standing there is not helping anything, quite frankly, and it'll get your ass back on the bench in the next game if it continues. Fred's got 2 techs and now another one there. Gary Trent for 3. No good there. 82-57. Murphy, it's 25 points. So Raptors have chipped in about 2 points here. Could be -1 with a 3. Doesn't go with the Pelicans. Rebound by OG. OG right to the rim. Lays it up and just spills out. I mean, that's just the way the game's gone, isn't it? Siakam to OG on the outside. Pass JV to the rim. Puts it in. I mean, that was a tough shot. That was a tough bucket by OG. How, it's just that easy for OG. The game is made a lot more difficult than it needs to be sometimes. OG can do that a lot more. Just get downhill, get to the rim. Did it there. Made it look easy. You need auto back. I just think the guy's playing like shit, man. I don't think anybody missing or whatever. The Raptors are playing like booty. Playing like shit. This is bad. Defense is bad, lethargic, not staying with their checks, not closing out off ball, leaving guys open. Offensively, it just hasn't been good enough to make up for those things. So, it's bad. It is very, very bad. One sec. Hopefully at least we make it only fit. I like just like for me, win the third, lose by less than 20 here. Cause I don't know what to say. You come here for a show, but right, like at this present point, if I was not streaming, I wouldn't be watching this game. Call me what you want, but there you go. Tom M, I see you in chat. What's going on? I'm not sure why there was an issue, but I think I obviously did fix it now. There we go. My grandparents had Wilt. My parents had MJ. I have Scottie Barnes. I really liked the decision to bench him on Monday because it was just like it lets you know. It lets you like this is my simile here. So if you like Family Guy, there was an episode where they killed off a main character. They killed off Brian. Spoilers if you haven't seen the show. Right? And the director, Seth MacFarlane, or the creator, said we did that to show that nothing is guaranteed. Things are fragile, right? They brought him back from the dead. They went back in time. Anyways, so what my point is, Scottie Barnes getting benched is Nick Nurse letting him know, your spot's not guaranteed here. I don't care, your rookie of the year. I don't care you're in a Subway commercial and a Google Pixel commercial. You got to play better basketball. And I think that was supposed to be a sort of message sent to the player. And, all right, get him back in the starting lineup today. He's been a disaster. Granted, the whole team has been a disaster. He has been an absolute disaster. And you can be a disaster without looking like you'd rather be anywhere else in the world but the basketball court. Because it very much seems like he does not want to be there right now. Next game, by the way, is not Orlando. It is Brooklyn. Brooklyn on Friday. Brooklyn have beaten us twice already this season. So hopefully we finally stop that one there. 84-59. Raptors don't play on Christmas. We won a championship, so the NBA was like, all right, I guess we have to give them a Christmas Day game. And then we got blown out, so the NBA's like, all right, no more Christmas. No more Christmas. Feel the Pelicans a bad matchup. I think we're a bad matchup for them as well. A lot of long guys, right? But it doesn't matter who you're playing. You play like this, you're going to get blown out by any team in the NBA. Nice effort there by Gary Trent. All right, Gary Trent showing some fucking balls in this quarter at least. Probably should have been a foul, though. So he gets the steal. Was there a foul? I don't know. Tickets to Brooklyn are so cheap for Friday. What's the roadie like out there? I might go to a Pistons game in February. The Raps are at Pistons. Don't ask you why. I'm going to Detroit as the Pelicans hit another three.
Take him to Detroit.
Might dabble with Motor City, baby.
No, not Detroit. No, please.
Gary Trent wants to be in the starting lineup. Yeah, I mean, at least he's running around out there. At least he's hustling, right? You're in the GTA. Go to Brooklyn Friday. Tickets are a third the cost. I can't go to Brooklyn Friday. My job right now. My job is hectic. I do my don't get shot. I'll do my best. Wow, I was about to say something. I'm not going to say it. What was I talking about? My job right now is crazy. And then my second job is crazy too. Barnes for 3, no good. I crossed the Windsor border about 2 months ago now as Zion walks through everybody and scores. I got harassed by the border. It wasn't fun at the Windsor border, but I should be okay. Just Murphy, oh my God, the dunk. I mean, this is what the Windsor border. Well, what's your name? Whatever. What's your citizenship? Where are you going? Why are you going there? How long are you gonna be there? They'll like why are you going to Detroit? Watching basketball. Who's playing? Raptors, Pistons. Are you a fan of any team? I'm a Raptors fan. Like, they just ask so much bullshit questions. Like, man, I don't have anything. If it's possible, maybe a channel could be exclusive content, collaborate with other YouTube channels. Interviewing fans, did that once. Did not enjoy it. It wasn't a fan's fault at all, or any of the people I was asking's fault. This game's done, by the way. So if you feel like I'm not watching the game, it's because I'm not, and I'm just chilling. We're hanging out now. Okay, as far as the Stones, it was more of a joke because so the Stones thing is like we've got 4 of the 6 Infinity Stones because just Amateur Hour Sports, which is red, Amateur Hour TV, which is purple, Amateur Hour Clips, which is orange, Soul Stone, red is what's red? I forget the red one. Purple is the Power Stone, which is Amateur Hour TV, and then the Time Stone green, Amateur Hour Bets, and then we have to get the Reality Stone's red. Sorry, thank you. Then we have to get the Mind Stone, the yellow one, and we also have to do blue, which is the Tesseract. The Mind that's the Mind Stone. The yellow one is yellow one this? No, yellow's not the soul. What the fuck? Why am I blanking on this? Blue is the Mind Stone. Orange is the Soul Stone. What's yellow? Am I mixing them up? Blue is Space Stone. What confused me is that the blue one is in Loki's scepter, which manipulates your mind. All right, whatever. The space. So the Tesseract. I already have green. Amateur Hour Bets is up. As we get a new sub here in RXKTS. I don't know how to say that, but thank you so much for that. The sub. Welcome to the Amateur Army. Sorry, I wish I could celebrate more, but unfortunately the game has gone so poorly here. So right now with work, it has been so extremely hectic. I have just not had a lot of like no matter what, I am an absolute machine with Amateur Hour Sports. Like videos fucking get out on Amateur Hour Sports. I go to great lengths in my life to provide content on Amateur Hour Sports at least 3 times a week type of thing, right? Amateur Hour TV, like my actual job, my 9-to-5 job is precedent, and I don't do stuff on work hours, so I have to do stuff before work. Working from home definitely helps there. We have a comment here. Alam Dark is that whenever I try to cross the border, my brother and I always put into security. And he says, this is quoting him, he says, "Man, I'm brown, and whenever I try to cross the border," that stuff. When I gestured towards myself, I was referencing that I was, listen, I don't agree with it, but am I less likely to get questioned at the border? Yeah. I fit the profile of somebody who does not get pestered at the border. I acknowledge that. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying the contrary. It's a bad thing. But yeah, I fit the profile of somebody they probably don't care about crossing the border. Yeah. So anyways, with the channel, like again, this stuff keeps coming out. I do my main channel. So if you guys want more basketball content from me, there's a YouTube channel called The Board NBA. If you search it, it's super easy to find. The Board NBA. I do a NBA betting show every weekday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time on that channel. Live stream there. You can watch it after the fact. I do it with a guy called Pips. He's a big personality on Twitter. Tons of followers there. But yeah, my 9-to-5 job. So I got to do Raptors videos in other parts of the day, which is really difficult to do to get one, to get a video done before work. Amateur Hour TV has been a little bit hectic. And I think I've been doing too much. I've started to kind of neglect my health. I'm trying to get back into working out more. So I got to do that. And it's just tough. So Amateur Hour TV, there's no schedule. I just do it when I can. Amateur Hour Clips, God bless Adam. That channel's finally monetized and I'm finally paying him. God bless him for helping out and doing that. And doing the Clips channel, because those are always consistent videos. Amateur Hour Bets, I'm going to try to do once a week, but again, it's just really difficult to do all this stuff. Regardless, it's enjoyable. The Amateur Sports is enjoyable. So that's why I do it. It's not like it's a burden for me. It's difficult. Did I ever make D1? I'm not a basketball player. I don't play I like basketball. I played basketball in high school. That's the extent of my basketball career. I played basketball. I was never that good at basketball. At least I thought. And then Gary Trent, another 3 there. And then in grade 9, there was this charity tournament at school that I entered. And man, I was fucking wet in that charity tournament. New follower on Twitch, 905 Yada. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Brightside, Trent's showing up here. And new subscriber on YouTube as well, Edwin McIsaac. What a name, Edwin McIsaac. Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the MHR Army. And 905 Yada, thank you for following on Twitch. So in grade 9, Bantam fused some energy. Yeah, I mean, no surprises there, I'd say. And you were saying it earlier, Tom. What were we talking about? Right, the charity tournament. I was wet. I was draining threes. And I'm not that good a shooter. Like my strength is definitely size and energy. I'm just an energy guy, a hustle guy. I rebound. I kind of play like Boucher. I'm like 6 feet, 6'1". So for high school at a low level, which my high school was a small school, it was fine. So I played high school basketball grade 10 to 12. Bad high school. I wasn't very good. I sucked in grade 10. In grade 10, they used me as like a shooting guard, which wasn't good for me. Grade 11, they used me as a power forward and a center. And I was really good that year doing my role. And in grade 12, I got like shadow banned by the coach because it was a new coach. He didn't really like me, I guess. Anyways, I didn't play basketball. I'm a soccer player. New subscriber on Twitch. 905 Yada has subscribed at tier 1. He's a double Amateur Army vet. We have very few of those, but a double Amateur Army vet. 905 Yada subscribing on Twitch. Big Body Cheese also follows on Twitch. Welcome to the Amateur Army over there. We appreciate that. We're doing a watch party like this, by the way, for every single Raptors game. If you guys want to get subscribed or followed on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch. I do a watch party like this, a Raptors game. Usually, they're more fun than this when the Raptors aren't losing by 30 points. So enjoy that. And on top of that, like I said, I'm doing other videos all throughout the week about this team. So make sure you're joined on Amateur Sports. Would really appreciate that. Trent looking good is the good thing here. But yeah, my life. Let's talk about me. How good were you at soccer? I am Canadian. I was good enough to play in the top university league in Ontario. And I was good enough to get Division II offers in the U.S., D2 offers. Felt like I felt like I was good enough to play D1, but I got D2 offers that weren't good enough to be financially supported to play there. I got like 60% scholarships, which was too much with the conversion and how expensive schools in the U.S. are. So I played university level in Canada. What school? I went to Laurentian University. So we weren't very good. We were a playoff team one year. We were not a playoff team another year, and we were bottle jobs a third year. We choked and didn't make playoffs. But my soccer career in university. So my rookie season, was my last season. Unfortunately, COVID canceled the season. Now I run by the Raptors, by the way. Only down by 22 now. First season, I got benched first game. I was a healthy scratch in the second. No, I got benched the first 2 games. I was a healthy scratch in my third game, and then I started every game from that point on. I started the next game because of injuries, and then I started the rest of my university career. So it was a good time, really good time there. Did I play? Kurt, did I play on the field across? Did I play at James Jerome Sports Complex? Okay, listen, I don't like talking about myself. I think I've already gone too far. But when it comes to the James Jerome Sports Complex, I have a goal per game record there. I think it's somewhere near goal per game. Actually, in my last year, where I was playing more center back, it wasn't there. So I'm a midfielder. They used me at center back as well. I had a lot of success on that field. For some reason, I like playing on the turf there. But I'm not like a big goal scorer or anything. I'm a midfielder. Anyways, enough about me. Oh, nobody cares. You don't want to hear. You want me to bicker about this team. Down by 23 late in the third here. I mean, what can I say about this team? But your team won the Ontario Cup. Man, I regrettably never won the Ontario Cup. I was very close one year. My team choked one year. We got very much upset in a semifinal one year in a team we should have beaten. Anyways, never quite got to that pinnacle of club in Ontario. Well, at least the Raptors, they bring in some bench guys. Banton comes in. He provides a little bit of a spark. Trent, he looks like he gives a shit as Nance hits a three there. Yeah, it's a 24-point game. I don't see why the Pelicans should have to feel super inclined to play. Boucher looking like KD there, step back, hitting that fadeaway. Who's on 37 points? No way they have a guy on 37. No, they don't. I mean, at least Trent's trying. He's 8 for 14. He has 25 points. Oh, you're saying this year? Oh, yeah, this year, really bad. And today his defense was bad in the first half, but yeah, this is crazy right now. One second, guys. Someone for work. Whenever players doing bad, they think they're injured. Look, he's just playing bad. Guy just needs to be better. Guy, I mean, I maybe he's injured, but I just think the guy just needs to play better basketball. That's the thing. We are in a really bad spot. Tomorrow's video, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about in tomorrow's video now. What do I even say? I guess I'll talk about, because people are starting to doubt Nick Nurse. Oh, fuck. Sorry for work. This is important. This is for my basketball show tomorrow. What are you guys saying? I mean, I mean, bad games happen. I say that a lot. But, like, we've been blown out in quite a few games now. We've been blown out by the Brooklyn Nets. Granted, we didn't get blown out by the Mavs, though we were down by 20. We did not get blown out by the Heat, though we were down by 20. I don't know, what is this play on? What is this? What is this? I'm genuinely asking. What is it about this team that leaves them susceptible to blowouts? And am I short-sighted in the sense that other teams also get blown out on occasion, like more occasions than I think? Because we've had the Sixers blew us out, the Thunder blew us out, the Pelicans are blowing us out, Brooklyn blew us out last week. What is it about this team that is susceptible to this? 8 for 30 from 3. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but is it we're susceptible to bad shooting nights? Proper center not being there? How much would that help? Though, maybe rim protection isn't here, so they're just beating us up in the paint. I guess that could be part of it. But then we also like win really good games, and we have a winning record despite all the injuries that we've had this season. So I don't really know what to make of it all. We've only been 2 games above 500 this season. We've never been 3 games above. Granted, we've never been under 500, so that's good, especially considering our injuries in this season. But it's just I'm firmly against the Nick Nurse slander. You can ask, like, you can't ask, but like coaches around the league have high praise for Nick Nurse. You saw it with there was a poll in the offseason ranking coaches. Nick Nurse was near the top for offense and defense and adjustments. His defense was way up there. His adjustments were way up there. Like, they really, like, Nick Nurse is a really, really good coach. And that is not the problem. Are there things Nick Nurse could do better? Yeah. Timeouts. Sometimes scheme's incorrect. Does he try to do a little bit too much? Sure, but I don't know. Like today, I think the defensive effort was horrendous. I think that's really all it comes down to, because offensively, we're going to put up fine numbers. They're going to score like 130 points on us. Ego management. Do you feel the ego coming anywhere? Like who would you say? I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, like, where does the ego seem to be an issue? It's not Siakam. It's not OG. It's not Van Vliet. Could it be Barnes potentially having something there? It doesn't look like it, but I don't think it's out possible. Can't outscore teams in a shootout. Okay, so that's probably the first one I've seen where it's like, okay, that's kind of a viable thing. When the opposite team is really lighting us up on offense, we're not an efficient team. How about, okay, that could be pretty much it. We're not an efficient team. We rely maybe too heavily at times on the possession battle, and when we don't have it, we can't win a shootout. That's probably the best way to describe it. When the other team is really killing us with points, we do not share that. You know what? I'm looking at it now. We don't have shootout type games. Like, looking at our game so far this season, like a close, high-scoring game that we've had 116-109, which is not that high-scoring. We had a 124-122 that was OT. I think that's the best way to describe it. I think this team it banks on the possession battle. I think ultimately you don't have enough of shot creation top down in the roster to not rely on that. So you play to your strength in that regard. But when those sort of things aren't working, the team is really killing you with points and efficiency, there isn't an outstanding offense to turn to in a half-court setting. So I think half-court offense at the end of the day is the biggest thing. So the season shows that the problem was not the bench. Well, the bench in the sense you still don't have shot creators to supplement the ones who start. So I still see issues with the bench because you just don't have enough talent in that pool. It's not the blowout, it's just how we get blown out. Always starts with a run. Nurse waits too long to adjust. We start chucking up threes and rebounds. Sometimes, yeah, I just think that's the product ultimately of getting blown out in general. Letting it slip away. But there are games like the Mavericks game on the weekend. The Mavericks started the game up 22-7, and we ended up winning that game. So that would have been the usual start of a blowout, and we get back into it. This Nurse calling time out here. I'm not listening anymore because can't. Pirtle's an interesting one. I don't know how much that solves, though. Like, yeah, I'd love a better rim-protecting big, but I also would love some more – sign Dwight Howard. I'd also love a shot creator off the bench. There's actually a poll – I mean, yeah, we're a piece away. Every team in the league is a piece away type thing. this was interesting. So I think, pat myself in the back here, I think I asked a really good question on my channel in a poll. So yeah, offensive rebounding here. So not winning the possession battle. They're shooting efficiently. We can't win the shootout because our half-court offense isn't good enough to do that. That's probably the biggest takeaway from today. Okay, here it is. So if I have to make a mid-season trade, what type of player do you think they need the most? And, granted, catch and shoot threat got 36% of the votes. That's a big chunk of them. But it's pretty distributed. I think, this is the thing you need most. Could that just be Gary Trent? Maybe. Could you use another one? Yes. You could always use another one. But 20% on backup point guard playmaker. Only 15% say a big with rim protection. Now, this is not the be-all, end-all, but it's just interesting to see the perspective of fans and what they want to see on this team. I don't think any of those would make us worse, but sign Tyler Hansbrough for physicality. Let's run it back with Hansbrough. Proper center would mean fewer open threes. Would it, though? I think it would lead to more, wouldn't it? Because they'd expose the non-closeouts there. Defense and rebounding are about effort and energy. Some nights you won't have it, so you need shooting. And tonight you don't have it. You needed shooting. You didn't get it. I think that's the best way to sum it up. Our way of playing relies heavily on winning the possession battle, high effort defense, high energy all over the court, and we shoot. We don't shoot as efficiently as other teams, but we beat them because we shoot more often than they do. So in a game where you're not shooting more often, you need to beat them by outscoring them in a shootout is something that we just haven't really been able to do. Bring back Chuck Hayes, bro. Bring back Chuck Hayes. That's bring him back. Absolute legend, man. Free throws, at least they're funny. This guy can hit that mid-range. He did it in the playoffs against Brooklyn way back. This guy's a big body. He throws around the body. He grabs boards. Chuck Hayes, man, I can't believe that guy's a professional. Google, YouTube, Chuck Hayes free throws after the stream here. And have yourself a good laugh. He has the single worst free throw form, I think, ever. That's not even hyperbolic. So the issue is low effort games happen. Guys just don't really have it. The energy isn't there for whatever reason. Those games happen. They happen to every team, every sport. We don't have the shooting to fight ourselves out of that sort of game. That's kind of the way of just piecing all this, your guys' thoughts and your guys' opinions into this. When the effort isn't there, the shooting is not good enough to bail us out of that. What about Jamario Moon? Is he in jail? JYD. Who's JYD? Lorenzo Brown, G League MVP. Lorenzo Brown's playing in Germany? Question mark. Who's JYD? Oh, Junkyard Dog. Is that Rondé Hollis Jefferson? We just have so many players like him that are just more skilled. I loved Rondé, but I don't think signing him changes much. I think another 3 for Gary. I think what Rondé Hollis Jefferson did, Thaddeus Young kind of does, except Thaddeus Young is a better player in like every category. If we sign Grievous Vasquez, we could trade him for OG and Norman Powell again. Trent's got a 30-piece. One positive we got. We got one today. Gary Trent finding a bit of his offensive mojo back in the 6-man role. Yeah, that's just about it for us. 17-point game. Look, I asked them to win the second half. They're doing it. Gary's hustling out there. He's trying out there. And the offense, I mean, it's rubbing off on him as well. He's hitting shots to go along with it. So happy about that side of it at the very least. Pascal Grazio. I mean, Pascal started really well. He still looked good. I mean, you can't be upset with 23 points and 9 for 15. Yeah, Pascal's looked good. Defense, everyone was bad. Gary Trent, yeah, at least you're getting points from him. His defense in the first half was really, 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 really bad. The Lucas Nogueira. How weird was it? He was at a Raptors game like a week and a half ago now. Guy actually had a lot more games in the NBA than I thought he did. Barnes needs a wake-up call. And you would have thought Monday was the wake-up call because he got his ass benched. But it wasn't, I guess. Can we get Norman Powell? Move off Gary Trent to get him. I got news for you, Ryan. We already did that. We did the opposite of that. We ain't going back the other way. Norman Powell, archetype is good. Money-wise, he's a little bit too expensive, I think, for the role you want him. The energy for Scottie seems to be off. I don't know why. Here's a guy whose intangibles have been off the chart in his Raptors career. I don't know what's going on with him. Uber Eats some Bullway. Nah, Subway delivers. Does Subway have like their own delivery service? Get Subway to do it. I mean, look, sophomore slumps aren't foreign concepts in the NBA. I don't think this is gonna. I think Barnes has a long and prosperous career ahead of him, but obviously issues right now. I mean, I don't know. I just genuinely, I don't know. I genuinely can't make out what it is with Scottie. What is there to be dejected about? What is there? Is there too much pressure on him, and it's just putting him in a bad head state? Like what could it possibly be that is causing the low energy games, the lack of effort, the poor decision making, the bad defense? It's just so strange for a guy like that to fall off like the way he is right now. And again, it's not a testament to his whole career here. He's got a long career ahead of him, but it's been a horrible first quarter of this season. We gotta bring in Caboclo, deal with injury. He's had time off. Like, guys are hurt. Like, you don't think Siakam is feeling that adductor right now? He's still balling and he's still hustling. You can still try. You can be hurt. You can still try. Like, if it just clearly isn't there because of your injury, it's noticeable. But it's also noticeable that a guy is just not trying out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, right, Jason, I'm with you. I can live with shots not falling. I can't live without the effort. It just has to be there. Like Gary taking all shots. Well, Yejun, it is what it is today. It is a brutal game. You know what? We're actually in with a shout here with 6:48 to go. Well, I think the Blue Jays trading Teoscar Hernandez. Coming off of a down year, you needed relievers. You needed pitching help. You got a swing and miss reliever. You needed that. Teoscar's in a contract year. I think we can replace him. He's a good player, but he was batting like fifth or sixth consistently. Contract off the books. Don't have to pay him at the end of the year. It's unfortunate. I love Teoscar, but the trade made sense for the Jays. I think it was a win-win. The Mariners will love that trade. Emotional player gets in his head. He had such hype coming to season, and he got too serious. Didn't play well. Lose contract, I guess. But also, he brought a lot of it on himself, right? Like he's also talked about how good he's going to be this season and stuff like that. So it's not just people talking about him. It's him talking about himself too. Early in the season, so I actually caught a little bit of heat for this, Ryan. So there was a game where Scottie Barnes put up a good amount of points, but the bulk of it was 3-pointers. And I said, cool, hitting threes, cool, but also that's not a sustainable form of offense for Scottie. And I would much prefer if he's shooting more at the rim. And then slowly the 3-point shot started fading away. And Gary, another three. Yo, this is a game. All of a sudden, the three stopped falling, lost his confidence, and we are where we are today. It is a 13-point game here. There is over 6 minutes to go. I think the watch-along has to get going again here. Patrick, you want my take on KD, Scottie, that you can go to my video from this week. I disagree wholeheartedly. Look, pretend comebacks are better than not doing anything and just losing by 40 points. Whatever. Like, I've complained about pretend comebacks, fake comebacks. Like, would I rather us fall apart and lose by 30? No. So, kind of frustrating that they only start trying late, but it's better than not at all. But yeah, again, you should ask, why is it a fake comeback? Why you only start kicking it in the midway through the third quarter? I don't know. Let's see. Murphy drives, misses. Nance blocked by Boucher. It's out of bounds. It is a Raptor basketball. It is a 13-point game with 5:38 to go. Gonna need something here. It's better than being last in fake comebacks. I don't know. Like, they got heart, I guess. OG down low. It is an 11-point game. I am all of a sudden engaged again. 5:25 to go. At the end of the day, it's not really enough time to make up double-digit points, but they're going to go down trying. Another steal by the Raptors. And Siakam turns it over. You're playing this team that's disadvantaged. Yeah, I mean, look, Tom, I understand what you're saying. I'm not, like, criticizing what you're saying. I'm just... At least they continue to try. 5 minutes to go. Zion to Murphy for three. This would be a dagger. No good. OG rebound. Here come the Raptors. They could make it single digits. Siakam going to the bucket. That's... not goaltending. Zion with the block on Siakam. It might have been close there. I think ultimately it was not goaltending. Zion to the rim. Wow, that is special. 13-point game again. Pelicans just trying to put this to bed. Seems too little too late and stolen by Zion, and I got excited for nothing. And 117-102. This game's over. We got excited. Okay. You know what? I at halftime, what could you say? You're down 27. Like I said, at least give me something in the second half, something that you take positively, some things that go well. At least you're trying. And you know what? We're doing that. At least we did that. We accomplished that. We didn't lose by 30. We didn't lose by 40. We're down by over 30 at one point. And you know what? We made it at least partially interesting here. Did bet on a regular time draw in this. Tracy McGrady, 13 and 30. What is it? 13 and 38, 13 and 37, or 13 33, 13 and 30 some in seconds. The Tracy McGrady legendary game against the Spurs. Was it 33 seconds? I feel it's 30. I don't know. Whatever. We need that. Man, that happened like 20 years ago now. A little bit less. But you still reference it because of how special it was. And if he did it, anybody can do it. Let's go get the dub. Dub might be too far gone, but no. We the North does not give up. They'll go down more valiantly than I thought they would. I respect it. I'm upset it didn't come earlier, but it's better than not doing it at all. Zion is special. This is not a fantastic defensive team here. It's just, yeah, tough scene. I'm in here before the Raptors played better without Fred VanVleet, trade him comments, because you know those are coming. 4:20 to go. Raptors just looking to make it a little bit better on the box score once this one finishes. OG loses it. So 3 turnovers in a row for the Raptors after making it 11 points. Murphy at the rim misses the layup, but Dyson Daniels puts it back. 3 straight turnovers, 3 straight buckets for the Pelicans. 6-0 run as a result. Siakam to Juancho for 3. No good. Rebound by Alvarado, and this game's going to come to an end here. So I'll tough it out. I'll finish off this game before getting to the post-game show. But the Raptors will be losing this one. And the box score will look better than it actually would suggest this game went. It may not. I mean, they could still beat us up here. 119-102, Alvarado up. Zion rebound, and he puts it in off the glass. 121-102. So it's still going to be a blowout, but I mean, there was at least making them slightly nervous for a sec. I also agree that the shot creator off the bench is the biggest thing missing. You could argue it's a rim protector. You could argue it's a playmaker. You could argue it's catch and shoot threat in general. I believe it's a shot creator. I believe somebody like Jordan Clarkson, like Spencer Dinwiddie are things you need on your bench. What experiment? When we started Barnes, I mean, Gary Trent played well off the bench, so I'd say keep going with that. Barnes, I don't know. I put him back on the bench next game. I'd start Juancho. Willie is Juancho's brother, yes. They are both Spanish national team players. I did a poll on YouTube. I showed it like 30 minutes ago. I did a poll on the YouTube channel. 36% of the voters said catch and shoot threat. 15% said a rim protector. 26% said a shot creator. 20% said a backup playmaker. And 3% said other. Do you think we should have benched Scottie earlier? I think the benching was correct. You want to play him out of that as best you can. OG is a -3. Scottie Barnes will finish -14. He finished 1 for 7, 3 turnovers, 5 assists. Christ, man. I got to drop him for my fantasy team, for fuck's sakes. He's taking up room. I actually might just drop him. I mean, you can't have him. He's doing nothing. Barnes got 21 minutes. I mean, yeah. Did he deserve any more? No. I mean, the officiating, guys, we're down by 18. It ain't because of the officials. Sure, no favors, but man, the Pelicans fucked us. They fucked us tonight. You're not gonna drop him? Like, why not? It's a tight league. It's an eight-man league. I like. He doesn't give me any stats. He hurts my field goal percentage. Free throws are currently 24-19. Not far off, especially when the other team's getting way more shots. Well, I was expecting Barnes to load up on rebounds, assists, a little bit of points, a little bit of steals, a little bit of blocks, high efficiency, and yeah, getting none of those things. Alec Burks, I don't know if I'd go. I mean, it's something different. It's actually not even horrible. Banton's a +7. 2 minutes ago. It's going to slow it down, wind this one up. Oh, man. Tomorrow's video. Nance missed a dunk. What is the video topic for tomorrow? Is it Barnes again? Wow, Alvaro, sorry. Nance just fucking swatted Boucher. And Boucher's hurt. Wow, he's hurt. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's his arm. I mean, Nance blocked him. It wasn't like, no malice in that. Notorious Nick says Celtics won. Huh. I mean, they're playing Miami. Miami are shit. Nobody's making excuses. This guy sucks. Video topic for me would be scheme. In, like, what sense? Pelican game was going to be good. Well, Hermes. I love the way you put it. I'm not making fun of you. I love the way you put this. Thought this Pelicans game was going to be good, but it's been pretty disappointing. That is one way to put a blowout loss to the Pelicans. It's been pretty disappointing. Yep. Man. Jeez. Boucher hurt bad. This would be a problem, guys. He had not a good game today, and he had not a good game the last game, but leading up to that, he was playing really, really well. See, these are the things, like with the ideas, it's got to have a snappy title to go with it, or it's just not, respectfully, it's just not worth doing. The Pelicans are better. This is a good team, guys. They have a better record than us. They are 4 games above 500. We'll be 5. We will be now 1 game above 500. This is a good team. Much better second half. They found some rhythm benching Scottie. Yeah, I think the video's got to be about Scottie. Scottie Barnes is giving us a big problem right now. I like to think this is something that doesn't happen again, but this has happened a few times already this season. Not like panic worthy, but we're susceptible to blowouts. Pelicans, they're a dark horse contender. Way more talent, not today, because Ingram and CJ aren't here. We're better than this. Scottie Barnes with a fucking pylon tonight. He was absolutely atrocious tonight on defense. Everybody's got to hold their end up on defense. I agree, Atlanta. We get blown out, but yeah, we get out hustled because we don't have the shot creation. We don't have the. Somebody made a good point. It was James. He said, "Well, we rely on overall. It was this. We rely on out hustling, out rebounding, and out possessing a team to win games, despite shooting less efficiently than them. So when you get a team that out hustles you and outworks you, the Raptors don't have the stuff to win a shootout. And I think that's what we saw here tonight. All right, Banton at the end doesn't go. That'll end the game. It's out of bounds. 5 seconds. All right, they're going to try to score. I don't think the ball. I don't think the offense is a problem because 108 points. If somebody hits a shot, so 108 points is a winnable point total for the Raptors. 126 allowed is not a winnable point total by the Raptors. That's what I'm saying. Toronto can win a shootout with Pascal on the floor. Pascal generates a lot of wide open threes. I guess it just. Those are my thoughts. All right, let's do the post-game show. Let's end this godforsaken stream. I really appreciate anybody who has stuck it out with me and who has liked the stream. Appreciate that. I know it was a rough one, but I hope you got some sort of positive and enjoyment out of my stream, which is what I strive to do. Well, Fred did not have a good half. We're not better without him. We were in this specific game, but the whole team was better second half overall. Anyways, good work today. I didn't for a while. We just talk about whatever. Defense, bigger problem. We're not bringing energy. Yeah, okay. Let's just go to the post-game show. I'm going to have to ignore the chat for a bit. For like 10 minutes here, I do the post-game show. But you love to see post-game tonight. Well, Ryan, you're in luck. Let's get into it right now. The Raptors look brutal tonight against the Pelicans. They fall 126-108. Defense was horrible. Offense made it look better in the second half, but it was an abysmal game. And there's one player in particular causing a lot of problems for the Raptors right now. So the Raptors lose this one. They follow up a couple pretty impressive wins, I'd say. They beat the Dallas Mavericks, and it was a really entertaining game there. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 100-88. Defense was on fire. OG on fire on defense. Offense on fire with OG as well, along with Siakam. And Siakam, though he looked good on offense today, and though a lot like Gary Trent finally busted out on offense today, Raptors offense wasn't the problem. 108 points is a winnable amount of points for this Raptors team, the way they play defense, but they were completely exposed today by the New Orleans Pelicans, who consistently outworked them, who consistently out-hustled them, and very consistently out-rebounded them. And as a result, this game was ugly. At one point, the Pelicans led by over 30 points. At halftime, it was a 27-point deficit. And you know what? We'll start with the positive on the team sense. It was 30, and the Raptors, they fought back second half. They played really, really well in the second half. They brought this one down to 11 points at one point, and then they had 3 straight turnovers that led to 3 straight buckets, and the Pelicans just took over the game again. But other than that, wow, that was just brutal display by the Raptors. This team has been a little bit susceptible to blowouts this season. This isn't the first one. We've had one against Brooklyn. We've had one against OKC. Dallas were leading us by 20 in one game, and we lost by 1. Miami were beating us by 20 in the game. We ended up losing by like 3 or 4. For some reason, this team has been a little bit susceptible to getting blown out in games. And granted, I'm not following other teams as closely, so I don't know if this happens to other teams as well. But it just feels like there's a lot of games that end up like this, unfortunately, for the Raptors. And just trying to piece together why that is the case, I think, well, I know what makes this Raptors team successful is winning the possession battle, out-hustling, outworking the opposition. And that is something they lean on, that is something they rely on. And sometimes when games, maybe there's not as much talent on this team, they'll outwork you and they'll outplay you in that respect and get the win. In this game, you're playing the Pelicans, who are very much, in my opinion, the Raptors of the Western Conference, where shorter guards who can hit threes, playmakers, and lots of long, lanky, athletic, two-way sort of players. And it was an interesting matchup going into it, interesting matchup between the two teams in that respect. The Pelicans outworked us. They heavily out-rebounded us. They out-hustled us. They looked like they wanted this more. They looked like they cared more. And I don't care about bad games. Bad games happen. I always say bad games happen. You can't really let the bad games sort of affect, the few bad games affect your thoughts overall on a team. But the effort was not there in the first half. It was very bad in the first half. It was horrible. One player in particular who looked bad throughout the game was Scottie Barnes. And he only got 21 minutes as a result. Got benched in the second half after playing very minimal minutes to start the second half because, listen, if you don't want to be here, you're not going to play. And it very much, I mean, he could say something different that he wants to be here, whatever. But it very much looked like Scottie Barnes did not want to be out there on the court. Nick Nurse took him off, and that kind of helped ignite the comeback because we had guys out there who wanted to care. I think the catalyst a little bit with Gary Trent Jr., who was a disaster on defense in the first half, but at the very least in the second half, he provided a spark for this team. He was trying. He was the first guy to start showing some effort. And you know what? Gary Trent, who's been immensely struggling all over the court, got 35 points tonight. 12 for 20 shooting, 6 for 11 from 3, 3 steals. here's a guy at least who was trying to work for something that ignited a little bit of a comeback. So let's talk about the stats overall before going into the diabolical team stats here. Siakam has another good game. He got 11 points in like the first 5 minutes of this game. Ends with 23, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, too many turnovers. A lot of guys had too many turnovers. He's one of them. He was 9 for 16. A solid game offensively from Siakam. Thaddeus Young, just the speed, I guess he didn't quite gel with this game. He did get the start for Gary Trent. Didn't have the same impact we've seen from in other games. OG quietly was okay on offense. 5 for 11 with 12 points, 4 turnovers, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Again, a little bit too sloppy there, but decent. Barnes was a disaster, as I mentioned. He was 1 for 7, 5 assists, but he was so bad at defense. And Fred, another really, really bad game for Fred. He actually got 2 technicals. Second technical was to start of the second half. It was a very, very soft technical. I would have liked to have seen him provided the opportunity to bust out of that slump in the second half. I think he would have. He was showing effort. Bad game, though. And he kept shooting. He was 0 for 7 from 3. He just kept on shooting here. He took a lot of bad shots, which did not help our first half either, as we were down 74 to 47 at halftime. It was ugly all over the board. Fred was part of that. Got to acknowledge that. Wish he had an opportunity to get it back. I wouldn't say this team made the comeback or partial comeback because Fred wasn't playing. I think he would have been part of it. Barnes wasn't showing us anything. Off the bench, Boucher, hopefully he's not too hurt. Another game where he didn't give you much. At halftime, he had all zeros other than one personal foul. He had literally all zeros other than a personal foul. So you got nothing from him. Juancho got good minutes and was great in the second half. Juancho in a game we lose by 18 points was a +2. Starting to feel like this is a guy who needs to be getting way more minutes, who started last game, played well, only got 7 minutes first half, and I thought he was very important to the second half, the way we played. You know, you're down by 27 at halftime. You're going to understand completely that the game's like, you're not going to win that game. You probably have like a less than 5% chance of winning that game. But I wanted heart, I wanted to fight, and I wanted to at least win the second half. We did that. You know, I'm trying to stay upbeat as possible. We won the third quarter. We won the fourth quarter. Big part with Juancho. Start leaning on this guy. Stop leaning on this guy who doesn't give a shit, it looks like. You could say one thing. On the court, it looks like he doesn't give a shit. So when you start Juancho against the Cavs and your team plays so well, and then you go to this game, Juancho gets taken out of the starting lineup. Barnes plays like absolute shit and doesn't even show any effort whatsoever. Juancho, I mean, if I'm Juancho, I'm feeling hard done by here. We play Brooklyn on Friday. Get me back in the starting lineup because I deserve it. And I would go with that. I'd put Barnes on the bench here. What would warrant him playing here? Like, you know, there's a whole career to figure out what's going wrong here and to get him back on track. But right now we're trying to win games. And you got to send a message to this guy that this is not going to fly. Standing idle as Alvarado walks past you and gets an easy look at the rim is unacceptable. And Barnes, along with many other players tonight, but him in particular, he needs to be better. And he's the only one who really got benched in this one. Going further in the bench, Banton probably should have come in a little bit earlier because he got 9 minutes. It was a +7 in those 9 minutes and it provided a little bit of a spark off the bench. But Pelicans dominated us thoroughly. And it's in the possession battle, I'd say. They out-rebound us like crazy. 52 rebounds to our 30. The Raptors are big on offensive rebounds. They only get 3 here. JV was a problem on the glass, as was Zion. I imagine they both got big rebound games. Yeah, 10 for Zion, 13 for JV. They just get a whole lot of rebounding from a whole lot of players. Wow, 12 offensive rebounds to our 3. That is bad. Turnovers, they actually committed more in the end, which helped start the comeback. 16 is far too many for us, though. Rebound is the bigger problem. Free throws, yeah, they get a little bit more. They shoot a lot more efficiently from there. Efficiency in general, they shoot 52%. That came down a lot as the game went on, as they kind of took their foot off the gas. They shoot the 3 ball really well, move the ball, create a lot of 3-point opportunities. At the end of the day, our offense, like I said, wasn't that bad. It's just you got out-hustled, you got outworked here. First half in particular, like they either dunked it or they got a wide open 3. Resistance in the paint was non-existent. Closeouts were poor. They just walked through us everywhere and beat us down, man. Ugly game. The Raptors as a whole, our half-court offense is still showing signs of weakness. And we obviously play to our strength in rebounding and transition game. When that's taken away from us by a team like the Pelicans today, and we're in a little bit of a shootout offensively, we just don't really have the tools to compete with that and keep up with that. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's the catalyst in a lot of our blowouts this season. It's just we just don't have the stuff to consistently compete on that offensive front. For us, it's defense first. If the defense isn't there, then the offense can't really make up for that. So in a game with bad defense as you got here, you don't really have a hope in competing offensively. It starts with the defense here. So you know that about your team. It's fine to be a defense-first team. You know, there's going to be teams that, like the Sacramento Kings, who are an offense-first team and a bad defense, but they win the shootouts. There's going to be games where they have bad offensive days and they get blown out because they can't score and their defense still sucks. So, you know, there's two ways to look at a team here. We're a defense-first team. Defense sucked. Half-court offense, still a little bit of a problem. I think we're still missing an extra shot creator coming off the bench. Maybe keeping Gary Trent in that role, I think, would be a good way to continue to go about this. I like him in that spot. I have been an advocate for that for over a year now, especially a big advocate for that in the offseason. But another guy I think's got to move to the bench here. Scottie Barnes is giving you nothing. Juancho's giving you a lot. Get him back in the starting lineup. As sad as it is to say, like, you got a problem with it, Scottie. You got to play better basketball. It's unfortunate. It's sad. Long career ahead of him, and I think a long and prosperous and successful career ahead of him. But right now, we need to win basketball games. And unless he wants to help us do that, he can grab some bench and come in and help us in that spot, because Juancho is helping us win games. So that's it from the post-game show. That's bad. Yeah. Let's regroup. Let's come back against Brooklyn. We're one game above 500. Let's get back to 2 against Brooklyn. They've had our number. They've beaten us twice this season. We're at the Barclays Center, but that's a winnable game against Brooklyn. You got healthy guys again. Let's go and get it. Better offensive game, better defensive game. Make some adjustments here. And my God, try on defense for God's sake. But that wraps it up. If you enjoyed, subscribe for more Raptors content just like this, and make sure you've dropped a like to support the channel. Easiest thing to do to support what I do is drop a like, help us reach some new viewers. I work really, really hard to produce all this content, get all this content out there, so we'd really appreciate it if you supported with that like. All right, guys. Video tomorrow, it's just got to be about Scottie Barnes. It's just so annoying. Did I see Tatum at 49 points against the Heat? Wow, I did not see that, Notorious Nick. Yeah, Fred was brutal. I acknowledged it. Can't let teams go 126. No. Pascal, pretty good game. Not him. Wow, this is tough. Scottie Barnes, what's going on with this guy? No Ingram, right? No McCollum either. I don't know what to say, man. We were right to be critical after that loss. I'm not being disrespectful. You know, I'm on saying that Barnes can overcome this. It's just, it needs to start with the defense. He's too talented offensively to bench. I think so too, but send a fucking message. You got to be better. And you want to earn that starting spot, then play better. Do it on the bench. Do it on the bench. You do it on the bench for now until you figure it out. That's what I'd do. Anyways, that'll be it for me, guys. It's 10:35. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I gotta wake up early, so I'm gonna chill rest of the night, and it might be that starting 5. We'll see, but I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow for a video. I'll be back on Friday for a stream, and really appreciate you guys. It was a bad game. You all could have left, but we had a lot of viewers all throughout stream. So appreciate that, guys. Thanks so much. Leave a like before you go, and check out the video tomorrow.